What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of AOS Trash Pandas. I'm one of your hosts, Rob, and with me, as usual, is my co-host, Carson. How's it going, Carson?
It's going pretty good. It's going pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm pretty happy with that intro for once. You know, it was actually not all tongue-tied and nonsensical, frankly, like most of them.
Yeah, let's redo it.
Better go back. Right. Yep, I'm going back. Good call.
And a nice little awkward silence for you.
I put it back on the starting.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and then because I wanted people to see that awesome, opening thing. I might just like pan to it every now and again. You know, the magnificent bastard.
That's a good
idea.
The Hall of Magnificent Bastards.
Right. Whoops, I'm on the wrong thing. I forgot to go back to the rim wrench, and I wanted to make sure stuff was somewhat lined up. Did you get a chance to check out the rim engine?
I did. Yeah. It is Iron Jaws. Yeah. I can't see how it's not, right? Like it has the same sort of like two-handed like big choppa feel that like the brutes do and the brute ragers do. So my prediction is that this is just like a rager brute boss, essentially. Like a hero that's like a brute rager.
That would make sense. Hey, Braden, thanks for joining us. Thanks for not playing Space Marine 2 and hanging out with us. I think you made the wrong choice, but thank you. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's probably true. I don't see what else it could be. I kind of hope it's not. Like I hope it's not like a brute rager on foot. I hope it's like something a little more like a brute rager on Gore Grunta or even maybe just like if I was really getting what I wanted, a like mega boss on Gore Grunta, or it's just something a little bit different. Because like he could have like a cool badass like shredded blade, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Or brute rager, or no, sorry, a mega boss on brute rager. How about that?
Oh, mega boss. Yeah, right. yeah, exactly. Riding one around, like piggyback style. Yeah, I like that idea.
Get him.
Yeah. Or like this is actually I was gonna say this reminds me of an inverted. What's that Klingon weapon called? I'm blanking on it.
I have no idea.
It's like a moon shaped. I know this. Batleth. Yeah. Batleth.
I would have never guessed that in a million years.
It's actually a really cool idea for a weapon. It's shaped like a giant like sickle, and you can hold it like a staff, and then there's like another sickle that goes in front of it, in front of your hands. So it's kind of used like a sword, but they also do other cool stuff with it. Yeah, I always thought like that's actually a pretty, like it seems like somewhat practical. Maybe I don't know. Anyway, moving right along.
Yeah,
this is not the Star Trek show. What's that?
So those things always seem practical until like someone actually decides to use them and like slices into their shoulder, and they're like, "Oh God!"
Yeah. Well, it is like shaped. It's the crescent goes out, but like. Yeah, probably, right? Like, I bet you there's someone has done it. Like, I remember, what's his name? Shadiversity. I used to watch, like, some of his stuff because he would do, like, practical application kind of stuff and, like, test things out and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think this is going to be then? Or what does the chat think this is going to be, too?
I would love to hear what the chat thinks. Thanks for joining us, Matthew. All latest, totally great. I didn't even know there was a debate going on tonight.
Actually, yeah, we got hit by a double whammy tonight because it's Space Marine 2 and the presidential debate. I think it's the first one between Kamala and Trump.
Oh, so, my.
Yeah.
Wow.
So why are you here?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you could like watch something really crazy, awesome, and violent, or you could play Space Marine 2. Either way, I feel like I would be doing one of those two things. Yeah. But thank you for joining us, right? Oh, you're playing the Borderlands 3 in the first time in like 3 years. Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that recently, Brayden. I was telling Carson the other day about I watched this YouTube channel. I forget her name, but she was just talking about why she only plays old games, and it was so interesting. And yeah, anyway, so I recommended it to Carson. But yeah,
In some ways, I feel like when you're playing old games, it's kind of like how, your favorite band might be a band that's like from decades ago kind of thing. And in some sense, it's because that music stood the test of time, and the
yeah,
game did too, right? Because there
yeah.
are tons of games from the same time that like the original Borderlands came out that are just awful and no one remembers at all. But Borderlands is one of the ones that stuck through. And also Borderlands 3 is not an old game. How dare you? Actually,
Not
when did
even
that
by
come out?
Carson's standards, and he's like 14 or something. So yeah,
Borderlands 3, that's
like 5 years
2019.
ago. Yeah, yeah, that was right. Yeah, I remember because I played it a bit with my kid at the time. But yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it's a little bit like there's a lot of the, part of it is like when they make a lot of new games, they don't make them. They really a lot of games just aren't made like they used to be. Like the reason why everyone is freaking the F out about Wukong is because like they put everything into the game. There's no like DLC in mind. It's just like there's a bajillion costumes, armor pieces, and like the game is absolutely gigantic and so packed filled with content. It feels like an old game. It doesn't feel like there's day one like on the disc DLC and that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like I love Space Marine 2. Like actually Space Marine 2 blew my mind. Like it really was like what I always craved in a Space Marine game, you know? And I feel like it's actually a great game to not play for super long because every time I boot it up and I go into the game again, I'm like, this feels amazing. This feels like you're a Space Marine. And like just the scale of and everything in the environments, it is really awesome. But like it's not as good as Wukong. Like I'm sorry, it's just not. Like the combat isn't as tight. You know what I mean? Like it's not as big. The graphics aren't whatever. You know what I mean? But it's awesome though. We're living in a good time. But having said that, like I think that's the problem is a lot of new games. It's like it's so like everything is like a service. You know what I mean? It's like the very reason why Concord failed and Wukong was so successful was because, you know, one is going for like this modern idea of what a video game should be, like Concord. You know what I mean? Like we need to have a live service and it needs to have, you know, content you can pay for and all these other things that they think that they need. And then Wukong's like, we're just going to make an awesome single player game. No multiplayer, no DLC, no nothing. And it has like, it set a record for the most amount of concurrence on Steam ever. And it also like, it's selling like crazy, you know? I haven't even beaten it yet. And I'm just like, this is insane. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
No, that's okay. I think that if the like main selling point or the main like advertising point for a game is its funding model, sorry, excuse me, that's a huge problem, right? Like
Oh,
gamers
right. Yeah.
don't like why would I care
No.
what that it's like a live service or something like that? Just tell me what the game is, right? Like
Yeah.
is it fun? Like why is it fun? Like at a certain
Exactly.
point, if someone's advertising like we've got like seasons passes and like it's a live service and stuff like that, it's just like it's almost like the butcher explaining and showing to you like how the sausage is made and how awful it is for you before they give it to you, and they don't tell you anything about what it tastes like.
Yeah.
And you're like, why
Yeah.
would you do this? Like,
But
like,
it's not just that. They're designed with that in mind, though. Like,
yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's designed
I'm
like
painfully
that.
aware.
Yeah, exactly. I know you are. Like, it's weird. I was just the reason I started laughing when you started talking was like, wait, I'm ranting about this, and I'm not you're the developer, and I'm just the consumer. But it was like, you know, like there was that Sony game, Stellar Blade. Also, same thing. There's like 50 million costumes in there, and it's all in the game. They didn't charge for anything. They keep coming out with new costumes and more content for free, and they're just thinking about the consumer. You know what I mean? It's so remarkable and it's so wonderful when a company does that. And it's like it's kind of what I was actually talking about this with Colin today a little bit. We ended our conversation just you know, because he was kind of saying like, they're a company. Games Workshop is a company. They don't owe us anything. They're not out to get us. They're just out to make money. It's as simple as that. And I was like, totally. Like the whole memeing people like getting upset that they're doing whatever. It's crazy. Like they're not out to get. But by the same token, you know, like when you have this consumer orientated experience that you go through, because sometimes they do that. Games Workshop does actually knock that out of the park sometimes, like in their customer service, certain other things, right? My mouth is so dry. And, but when they do that kind of thing, like remember during the pandemic, they raised their prices and it's like, guys, that like, it was really the worst time. It looked so bad for them. You know what I mean? Like there's already people complaining. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But like when they do that, like when they kind of nickel and dime and get every single cent that they can out of you, that's when it, you know what I mean? And that's their right. No one's saying it's not, but like you feel it, you know? Yes. SF6 is amazing. Crazy thing about Street Fighter 6, Sean, is like we're all going like, give us DLC. Please give us DLC. And they're not doing it. It's crazy. And actually all the season pass stuff you can get in that game, you can pay for it. You only need to buy one and then you can just earn the money back with in-game. And then you can just keep paying it for it with that. It's really wild. But yeah, they've only given us one pack of costumes and we're like, please give us more. They've only done it one. It's crazy. Anyway, great game. Sean made something. So we're going to be doing, sorry guys, I've ignored the chat in my rant. We're doing a battle report on Thursday. It's going to, should I say what it is? I think it's kind of fun. Cool. It's a Gloomspite gets Civil War. We're finally doing it. And we've got a bunch of things prepared. And Sean prepared, he did a lot of work. So we've got something from Sean to show, and we've agreed that I won't say what it is until, but you come check it out. It'll be really exciting. A lot of stuff on Thursday. So yeah. Did I interrupt you, by the way?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I just been reading the chat. Plastic was an essential service during COVID. That's right. Yeah. Honestly, I do think a lot of people were like focusing on their hobbies a lot during COVID, and that is probably what like made me start painting more as well. It's just because I was like, I'm bored.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm gonna try and like tackle this this pile of shame that I have.
I got a lot painted, and I started working out again. It was kind of a cool time, other than the uncertainty and like the fear and whatnot. That like, you know, I wasn't quite. I wasn't
the
bad,
existential dread.
Yeah,
it's great.
Exactly. I was pretty fine, to be honest. I was just like, it was so nice going for a run, and I wouldn't see anyone. Like there were times I would go for a run, and I literally didn't see a single person. And I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how soon it's going to be when we start romanticizing the pandemic.
I was saying it at the time. I was literally going like, some parts of this are pretty awesome. Like driving on the highway at like 4 p.m. Like this is amazing, you know? But I also think that like I was saying at the time as well, like, I wonder how long it is before people go back to like sneezing in each other's faces and not giving a crap anymore. And I was shocked how quickly it happened. Like I was a germaphobe before it was cool, you know? And because I was just like going like how many hundreds, or not hundreds, well, like in North America, it's like tens of thousands of people die each year of the flu, which seems eminently preventable after COVID. You know what I mean? Just like be careful, you know? Don't do that. Anyway, I'm sorry. Now I'm on another rant. Space Marine 2 kept crashing on my computer. I couldn't even watch the opening cutscene. Oh man, I hope you got it. Hope you got it refunded. That sucks, Bear. Yes, the DLC is coming. If you mean Street Fighter, Terry's coming out real soon. And also they're doing, and that's actually another thing about the video games, like those those collections or like the remastered stuff. Like they're coming out with a Marvel versus Capcom collection. It's going to have like the Punisher arcade beat 'em up game and like all this other stuff. And it's just like, man, this is awesome. Like those games were amazing. Hey fellas, what do you think if the rats I got of the rats you got up on Discord? I did not get a chance. Sorry, I was super busy. I was telling Carson I was running around like a chicken with its head cut off. Oh, the rat.
This is Jesse's been posting his progress on his rats over the past little while. That looks great. I like the bruising that's kind of like around all like the warpstone chunks that are in the skin. That's really cool. It's like
that's awesome.
Like normal colored skin, and then it's clearly like a piece of like warpstone shrapnel has just like been like whipped into their arm essentially. That's pretty neat.
Did you put it in the feed us content section?
It's in Hobby Showcase. It's just a little bit up.
Yeah. Cool. So I'll check that out. So can I? Now I don't know if I can post it or not. Like, the feed us content is like you put it on there and then we can just show it, right? Oh, that looks cool though. I like the gray skin. I went with kind of like a more like what do you call it? Desaturated brown. Because I wanted it to contrast with the lighter skin. This is really cool, man. Like Carson said about the bruising around. I just saw it. Where is it? Yeah, it's a really cool idea. Assuming you're Jesse, right?
Yeah. Also, it looks like on the stream our cameras are just gray right now.
I'm so sorry. Because I opened Discord. And it didn't want to show. I don't know. I'm not sure why I did that actually. Because, yeah. Here, 1 second. Let me see. It's going to go grayed out again. I don't know. I have no idea why it's doing that. If I put it on the other screen, is it okay? Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. With the zits. Gross. No coughing. Was I coughing? I do not remember. Oh, maybe.
You're talking about COVID times. Or
right.
The pandemic.
You missed the 6-foot rule? No one near you? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, some of us were antisocial again before it was cool. Okay, maybe I'll move on. Did you guys check out what the rumor engine? What did you think of what it is? We were guessing earlier. We were guessing Iron Jaws. I mean, it's got to be an Iron Jaw of some kind, but the question is what? A Rager hero would be cool. I just feel like that probably is what it is, just because it's like that's what you get when you get a new battle tome. You get a little foot hero, and you get that. You know what I mean? That's why whenever you get like a proper release, you're kind of like, I don't really want any foot heroes because I know I'm going to get them anyway. You know, but
yeah.
Speaking of foot heroes and whatnot, the Skaven went up for pre-order. It looks like they're quite popular, unfortunately for me. So I was told I might not get everything I ordered from my local store, but hopefully I do.
Oh, that's what. Sorry, I thought you meant from like the special snowflake side of things. It's just like, unfortunately for me, I'm not unique anymore, and that I like Skaven.
I am that kind of person in a weird way. Like when I get into something, like I remember when I first went into the local store here that used to be around here or whatever. Anyway, I went in there and I was like before I got back into wargaming for Skaven, but then I was kind of like, what else would I be interested in? I was like, are Space Wolves popular? And he was like, yeah, very popular. And I was like, okay. Is this popular? Yeah, that's okay. I kept going back to the drawing board. I don't think Tyranids were popular. I ended up just kind of going with what I liked in the end, but yeah.
And that's okay. It's okay to have an army that a lot of people have if you like it.
Well,
we give you permission.
Yes, thank you. Aw, shucks. Well, now though, I'm actually super glad that people like Skaven, because if they didn't, we wouldn't have gotten this awesome release. We would have gotten, how many minutes in? We're 20 minutes in. We would have got shit canned like like Beasts of Chaos and Bone Splitters and that kind of thing. I mean, I'm just joking, of course. Like we got other orcs in AOS. You know what I mean? And we didn't get other beastmen, unfortunately. Like they kind of got put off into each army and whatnot. I don't know. I feel like at some point they should make a new faction that is basically Beasts of Chaos, but AOSified. Like, yeah, that would have been a much better way of doing it.
Even from like a thematic and gameplay perspective, they serve kind of an interesting role of like this like ambush tactics, just like in the woods, like beckoning you closer, kind of thing, trapping you. It's really cool, and I don't think anything quite scratches that itch. I think that maybe Games Workshop thinks that Cruel Boys does, but they definitely don't. I think
they don't.
They're a little more like tricky swamp, poison, that sort of stuff for sure. But it's not
they
like
might
ambush.
Skaven do too. Like teleporting between Nahul. I agree. Like in fantasy, and in the video game Total War, like they are meant to be Beasts of Chaos, rather, are meant to be like an ambush faction. It's like in their lore, it's in everything. So yeah. Anyway, so I hope you all were. I was, of course, first to pre-order this stuff. I literally, when we did the original preview show, I was like typing, I think, at one point, like making a list of stuff. But I pre-ordered like right after the show, so I was first on the list. But I might not get everything because they're giving. Like there isn't enough to go around, so they're not like I'm not getting like 2 of some things or whatever. So I'll cry about it, but I'll try to keep it down to a dull roar of blubbering. And I might just have to grab it somewhere else or something like that. But yeah, anyway, so like they went up for sale. What did you think about the Gamers Edition? Did everyone see this? Like, it's
I talked about the Gamers Edition last week, I thought.
No, I know, but I don't think we knew the prices. Did we?
Oh, maybe not. Also, Sigmar Scotty, thank you for not playing Space Marine 2.
Yes.
And tuning into the show.
Thank you, everyone who's not playing Space Marine 2 and tuning into the show.
Let's just take a quick minute and go down the list, actually, like you said.
Yeah.
Asri, thank you for not playing Space Marine 2. Razor, otherwise known as Jesse Day, thank you for not playing Space Marine 2. Big Ron, Quarters in Session, thank you for not playing Space Marine 2.
Carson,
Bear
I
Chills,
see you in the chat. Thank you for not playing Space Marine 2.
You're welcome. It's I want to say that the only reason is because I got it for free when we bought when we bought the new PC. They gave us a free copy of Space Marine 2 as like a CPU deal or whatever, but I can only actually redeem it on the PC that has that CPU in it. Yeah. And because it's at Rob's house, I couldn't. So otherwise I'd be playing right now, and that's the only reason why I'm not.
That's true. Yeah. I am playing Space Marine 2 right now. You guys are making it kind of hard because like
you just multitask.
Yeah. What y'all do. Thank you, Brayden, for not playing Space Marine 2. Again, we thanked you at the start, but thank you again. Bear, thank you for not playing Space Marines 2. Sean, thank you for not playing Space Marine 2. Yeah. Matthew.
Huge thank you.
Matthew, anyway, thank you for not playing Space Marine 2. Sorry. Okay.
Skaven, we just keep going all day. People keep talking in the chat. We're going to keep thanking. Big Ron, thank you again.
Okay, the Gamers Edition.
Yes.
Right? It's $100 Canadian.
That's a lot.
So it's like, like $7 more to get the Battle Tome and the cards. Now, the cards that you buy separately, you don't get like the spells and like the traits or whatever, right? But like, why?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
I assumed they were going to cut out the lore, but apparently the lore's in there.
Yeah, it's just paperback instead of hardback.
Yeah.
Right? Hardcover?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't quite get it. I think, that like, especially as someone who's like been through a couple of editions now, and I know you have been through every edition now, it sucks, but like every one of these books just collects dust on your shelf as soon as it's kind of obsolete. And at the very least, the hardcover book is like it's a nice looking book, right? It's
Yeah,
kind of neat. And if you're paying like pretty much the same amount of money for something that like personally I would definitely just recycle,
right.
like it's or throw away, depending on your local traditions.
Yeah.
But the I don't get it, to be honest.
Yeah, me neither. I
Yeah.
think this is a bit of a miss for me. Like, if they were doing like an economic version where it was like thin and they're just charging like whatever, 10, $20 for it, so like, and then like if everything was going to come out to like 60 or 70, so you're like at the cost you're normally paying for the battle tome, but you also get the war scroll cards. They've cut enough corners to make that work. Then be like, oh, okay, I get this. Especially because like a really thin thing. That way you don't even have to include it in the cards. And then you got all your allegiance abilities and whatnot, and then you can take that to tournament. Like it's just like this economic version of it for like tournament players and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like in the old like Warhammer 40k start boxes, there were like the tiny versions of the rule books that were like super thin and they just had like a really condensed version of the rules and those were like gold. Like some people would
Yeah.
buy those off of you for a decent amount of money.
Yeah.
And I was kind of hoping that that's what this would be for the Skaven book essentially.
Yeah.
Just like a really condensed thing like you're saying that's pretty cheap. But yeah, it's just not like $100 is how much it costs to get into some other war games, period.
I know. Yeah.
Not just buy the rules for your army, right?
You have everything you need. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I
So
guess you could consider the War Scroll cards like a luxury thing, but the idea is you're saving money because you're a tournament player and stuff is at a premium or whatever. I don't know. Or like if you could even just choose to buy just the War Scroll cards with the faction rules that you need as a separate thing. Like I might have bought the battle tome and those. Because I am like a collector, like I do, like this is my favorite army, obviously of all time. So I do want I want the lore, I want the pictures. You know what I mean? Like I'm never gonna throw it away. I've got every Skaven army book ever, except for the very first one in '93, which was my very first purchase, ironically. Anyway, I don't know. Yeah, I just thought we'd touch on it real quick. We already talked about like the what do you call it? The spearhead box and all that other stuff. But yeah, it's all coming, so that's kind of cool. I also wanted to talk about they threw up like a free story. I really wish they would include the author because it was it's a good story. It's really fun. It includes it's just like because we didn't really get like a Skaven story from their POV in the new Skaven Tide novel. Like there's no Skaven POV characters, so I think that was also a miss. If they'd had just like anyone, it didn't even have to be Kritok or Vizik or anyone like that we know of. They could have just made a character. But like yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so they did throw up like this free story. I think you guys should check it out. I read it. I really enjoyed it. It's called Chronicles of Ruin, Rack and Ruin. So yeah, and then they did show us some so we did get some what do you call it, previews of we got the preview of the whole book. The whole Skaven book is out there. The new Skaven Battle Tome Special Edition. Oh no, it's I see, you already answered, I think.
No, I didn't answer. I was just being a jerk in the chat.
Okay. It is Canadian dollars. Yeah.
It is Canadian dollars, yeah, first of all. And then my incorrect conversion there, which is 100 Canadian dollars is about 4 USD.
That's true. Yeah.
So don't worry.
Yeah. But we definitely got we've seen all the Skaven rules thanks to Honest Wargamer, AOS Coach, and a few others. Season of War did like a 14-minute video or something like that where they just kind of talk about the differences. So that was kind of interesting. It was a little too it was a little hard to understand, to internalize it. Like I'd already seen the other ones, so I already knew what he was talking about, so I didn't go back. But I think they're trying to make it as condensed and quick as possible. But the Honest Wargamer has and you Carson was the one who sent it to me. He did like an amalgamated, like quicker version going through all the rules, and he talks about like some of the power pairs and whatnot in it. That was really good. I haven't had a chance to check out the AOS coach one. You were telling me that Matt Beasley's in it?
Yeah,
Cool.
Matt Beasley is the one that decided to do that, and or yeah, AOS coach had him on. I think part of it was because Matt Beasley went 4-1 at Old Town Throwdown teams, or so not
Okay.
teams, Old Town Throwdown with Skaven, which right now we're just not doing very well. So that was like might
Sure
be the
enough.
best result that they have so far.
Probably sounds about right.
Yeah, and I know that he's been interested in them just because they're kind of shaping up to be like a little bit more techy, a little bit
Yeah.
more like tricky of an army, which is kind of cool. And not tricky in a way that kind of Cruel Boys is, where some of it relies on dice rolls a little bit. Actually, some of it does for Skaven for sure.
Pretty
But
much all does.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's I don't know, it's different. Like it's still there's some interesting tech there, and that was a pretty. I enjoyed that video quite a bit. It's nice to hear the inner workings of Matt Beasley's mind, so I highly recommend that. Go check out the AOS coach video for that.
Yeah, I'm going to check that out myself, even though I've already gone through all the other ones. He is a Zeech player, so he's used to like very techie stuff. And Skaven's always been like that, always been techie, and like, you know, it's always been the army that everyone under the sun, they're like, don't play it as your first army. And I've always disagreed with that because I think you should just play whatever you like. It's like this, they say the same kind of thing in like fighting games. It's like no, you should play Ryu or this character because they're easy to learn. It's like no, whatever you brings you to this game, head in that direction. Just concentrate on that. You'll figure the rest out, you know. But if I don't know, but putting that aside, they've definitely gotten more difficult. Unfortunately, they're one of the more difficult armies to play in the game. So I can see why Matt is both interested in them. I actually thought that Matt was a little bit more of a spike where he's really attracted to, I thought he was at least somewhat attracted to strong armies, but I might just be conflating him with Matthias. You know what I mean? Like,
I think I don't know. I would consider him a spike. Yeah, and I think that
interesting.
well, actually, maybe not.
I don't know.
He's definitely not a Timmy. He's sorry.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, he's yeah, somewhere between a Spike and a Johnny, probably. Because I mean, like he mainlined Zeech for the longest time last edition, which is a very difficult army to play, but it's also, you know, certainly not the best army there is, or best army there was, rather.
It's
but
not
I think
the best army in the game, but like they were always like upper
good.
tier.
They're good for sure.
Yeah.
And I think it's
and they are now too.
He strikes me as the kind of person that is attracted to the type of army that isn't good unless the pilot is good, and then when the pilot is good, it's very good.
Interesting. Huh.
And I could see Skaven shaping up to be that way. Like the important thing to note is that we don't have points, right?
That's true. Yep.
So
points I've heard points. I've heard points, and I can neither confirm nor deny, but yeah, I don't expect that to change. The only thing that I heard that was good news was clan rats I heard are going down to 150. They never should have been 160. They're like one of the more expensive infantry out there. Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't see them being strong for the foreseeable future. Like the main piece, Giselle, as you guys can see from the videos, they went down to now they're only 18-inch shooting, and they lost their +1 to hit if you don't move, and now they go back to their old range if you don't. But then if you're doing like the covering fire, then they're hitting on 5s. Like I don't know. And they were like the main thing that people were using. I do think that there's a way of playing them so that they're very strong. I just don't think that I or most people are going to want to play them that way, and that's with just a crap ton of clan rats and the new Pestilence priest warband, basically cheap priests and lots of clan rats, and then you're just throwing bodies and mortal wounds and tons of attacks at them, and you just clog up the board. But like, I don't want to play like that. My back doesn't want me to play like that, and you know, and I'm sure there's like other stuff in there because like again, like you said, you know, like if brood terrors are 100 points, then yeah, like that's gonna be crazy. Like that's gonna be way too strong, and you know, but like, yeah, I just don't see that being the case, you know, and it's not the case for what I heard of the points either. But
Yeah, I think it's going to be really tough to say, like, even with their points in a vacuum, how they're going
Yeah.
to be as an army, just because we haven't actually we haven't had a battle scroll for this edition yet, period, right?
That's a
And
good point.
there's going to be probably a massive shift in like what we're seeing as like is like the biggest, baddest, most meta things, and then it could be that Skaven actually starts doing fairly well in comparison to like what is coming, essentially, like changes wise.
That's
Just because
true.
a lot of what we're seeing right now is like just extremely efficient threat projection.
War scrolls
That's
in general. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Where you have these kind of problematic war scrolls that are like, you know, gluttons, trogs, blade geists, hex wraiths, those types of things that people are just like spamming constantly just because they can.
Right.
And as soon as that problem kind of gets fixed, then you might start to see a little bit more like toolbox armies, like you were saying towards the end of third. I think the meta was in a really good spot at the end of third.
I think it
Where
was great, and I've heard that 40K is in the best spot it's ever been. So I am hopeful.
yeah.
But
So
and
I guess what I'm saying, like as like a follow up to that, is that Skaven is kind of shaping up to me to look like a toolbox army, where it's got like several things that it can be putting into a list that deal with a lot of different problems.
right.
And that's probably what, to me, I think GW is trying to make viable again. So
That's
I have
interesting.
hope.
I you know, like I've always said this, and I believe it to be true, that if you're in the box set, you're probably not going to be great, especially if you're going against the Stormcast. Skaven have always been a toolbox army. I think they will continue to be a toolbox army, and I think it really is an issue of points. As Ludivicus said, I've also heard that the Brood Terror is 300 points, and that is like that probably is the most overpriced thing in the army. But that's why I actually used the Brood Terror as an example, because I was like, it seems like it, but it's just so cool. I want one. I'm gonna paint one. You know what I mean? I think like the nice thing about it, like, and I'm not really complaining because like I always knew that this was going to be like a hobby army for this edition, because like Cruel Boys didn't start looking good until like the last like 3 months of AOS 3. You know what I mean? And they were in the starter set. So this is like I'm mentally prepared this from the beginning. But I think the main problem with the book probably is just points. Other than like a few things where I think that are misses, like there's no reason to change the Giselle to 18 inches and 24 inches. But like what I did want to talk about though is, as you said, as we move forward, like what we did see in 40K was like Custodes apparently was like the most busted thing in the indexes, and it was crazy. And then they got a book and they became like one of the worst armies in the game. So we might kind of see that in AOS as well, where it's like when you people are going to start not looking forward to their book because if they have a good army, because they'll probably get like a nerf of sorts when you get your book. So we might just be seeing the first step, because this is only the first book, and we might just continue because long strikes are already way better than Giselle, right? And so if they're going down to 18 and 24 inches, maybe they'll get something similar where it's like they're 18 inches, but they keep their 3s and 3s. You know what I mean? Or something like that. I don't know, but like,
Yeah, I think in general, probably what's happening is GW has like some like area or some distance essentially that they're like, okay, this is too far to be able to like reach out and slap someone, and then it becomes unfun essentially. Like there has to be a give and take, which is
right.
why I think maybe Giselle's got moved down to 18. I don't think that had to happen.
No.
But
Not
and
hitting
then
on
there's
floors,
definitely
it didn't.
yeah, and there's definitely worse things, like worse offenders for sure. Like I think Foxes in Lumineth Realm Lords is going to be having a rough time
It's
soon.
kind of it's kind of cancerous. Like, you know what I mean? Like
It
it's kind of
is. Yeah,
toxic.
it's pretty.
And, yeah, and like and so, but it, like, yeah, you might be right. So it might be like, okay, well, like even though Giselle were the least of the offenders, we're still just like, this is our new policy. But the other thing too, though, is like, so the problem though is that when you're the first book, you also don't have any of the tools that are going to come later.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where they tend to F up these first few books, in my opinion. Like in the last one, like none of the first books had, including Skaven. Like that was the following year we got the Skaven book, and we still didn't have any kind of, what do you call it? Heroic action. What was it called again?
Heroic action, yeah.
Were they called
Like at the
heroic
start of the
action?
turn?
That sounded wrong, yeah. And we didn't have any custom rampages. We didn't have like any of these cool things that we got in later books. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, we got to catch up with the chat. There's a lot of stuff going on there.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. but yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's only time will tell. Like, and what's interesting is that the Skaven book is so similar to the Index that it kind of makes me think that maybe I don't know. Like
they just kind of I mean, they had the Index and they're like, we don't have time to do any meaningful changes here. Let's just kind of pick a couple of things. Like they changed the pestilence thing, and I think they realized that early on. There's no way that that Skaventide came out and then they made these books. It's not possible. They were already made like 3 or 4 months ago, maybe longer. So yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, it's fine. And like you said, actually, there is still the battle scroll. So like all those people, I really I'm not upset about it. Like I knew going in, I knew this was going to happen. I said it from the beginning. I'm not upset about it, but there are a lot of people that are really upset about it. So to all those people, like you said, let's wait for the battle scroll, and let's just kind of wait and see things going forward. You know, paint up all those clan rats you got in your multiple copies of Skaventide. Because they are, because clan rats are legitimately good. They could be terrifying in this new book. So, yeah. And also, what I'm going to do, so I've got one of the Pestilence Scabrix Plague Pack. And I've also got, obviously, an old Plague Priest. So I'm going to take some of, like, random, like, monks and stuff like that. I'm going to make another one. And then that way they don't even look the same, and I get use out of my old Plague Priest model. That's my plan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Also, Sigmar Scotty says, as you guys discussed the new Skaven book, what, in your dudes' opinions and everyone here, would be a great addition to a Skaventide box set to get my Skaven to a good but fun 2,000 points?
Okay, first we need to ask a question. Did mine just zoom in on me, my camera?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, weird. Okay, anyway, sorry. What do you, first of all, like, I know this is like annoying, but like, what do you like the look of? What clans entice you? Because it's a huge lineup. You know what I mean? Like in Stormcast, like they're kind of homogenized, their look and feel. Whereas Skaven, like everything looks crazy and weird and different. So other than Eshin, which I just wouldn't recommend until we get some new models, like you could go so many different ways. Like you could lean into Molder, you could lean into Scryer, you could lean into Verminous. You know, there's so many different ways you could go. So let's wait for the chat to get caught up. They can answer that question. Who asked that, by the way?
Scotty Sigmar. Or no, Sigmar Scotty.
Sigmar Scotty. Okay. So I'm going to look for his response. Do you want to find the next thing? I know we missed a lot of stuff, guys. I'm sorry.
So Asri kind of brought up that Trogs are a points issue. The internal balance of Git's Index is fine, in his opinion. The Glutton Spam is a result of really bad internal balance in the Index, and they're only the really bright point. Yeah, I think that it's going to be tough. You know, my hope is that this first battle scroll is actually going to be like not a light touch at all. Because I think that there are a couple problem armies where like it's not even that they're overpowered, it's just that like you only have one choice essentially if you want to have like anything that resembles being viable. And like an ogres is an excellent example of that. It's like you have one hero, the butcher, which is just like mandatory.
Right.
You basically have to bring the butcher in order to unlock your like the use of your +2 to run sub-faction ability and to get the speed out of your army, because otherwise your army is just marching 6 inches up the board. Otherwise you're going Trog speed, and you are not Trog tough. Like
No. It's like that with Seraphon too. Like you have to bring a slant, otherwise you can't recycle your models. You have no recursion. It's like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
I
exactly.
agree.
And that's only like the first layer of the ogre problem too, where it's like you have to bring that because the only viable things are like gluttons and also to some extent iron guts, right?
Right.
It's just they just didn't give you another choice essentially. And then with Nighthaunt, the issue is that like there's zero reason to take any other sub faction. Like you
Yeah.
can't, right?
Yeah,
Like
that's
the
true.
reason why Nighthaunt is good is because your entire army can be running and charging across the board and just pinning someone. But if
Yeah.
the whole army is just marching 8 inches, maybe that's not a problem.
No.
Or maybe it's not such a big deal. So I hope that it's not a light touch.
I agree. Like before, I've always said, like, always do a light touch. But if they're not going to be updating more often, then do what needs to be done. Do what must be done. Scotty Sigmar said Clan Molder and Scryer easily appeal the most. I mean, that's great because they have the most new and awesome models. I mean, it's hard to kind of recommend, like, because the builds are going to be very different. If you want to lean in Scryer, I would say the new weapons teams are going to be really good, and Doom Flayers are going to be really good. The Galvanier is a great hero to pick up when you get them because he combos in nicely with the new weapons teams. And again, like until we see the points, like the Warp Blaster right now is like the most overpointed. One of the most overpointed like units in the game right now. It's probably going to kill itself, and it's like 190 points, and it's not going to do that much damage. It's wild. So, yeah, like it'll kind of depend on that. I mean, I guess you've already got a Warp Blaster in your Skaven Tide box, but
Yeah. I would say get some Storm Feeds, just because that's kind of a nice mix between Scryer and Molder
that's
too.
actually a great point. Yeah, because you can play them as either. If you can magnetize their weapons, then you're laughing because you can just literally,
Yeah.
move
It
them
gives you a lot of
between
options.
Scryer and they're traditionally like a good unit as well. Like they've gone from like being the best thing in the whole book to being like fine. I thought they were massively overrated during AOS 3. I still saw like toward the end like a lot of people playing them like, oh, these things are OP. It's like they're only OP against someone incompetent or like a really like a bad matchup for them, or both, or like, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, like whenever I played them against like someone who knew what they were doing, it was just terrible. Like they were super overpointed. But they're traditionally like at least decent, I would say. Yeah. Things that Skaven used to be, they just aren't. Like all the casters we used to have. Yeah, that was sad too. I mean, and we kind of knew that as soon as we got the index, right, Jim? But it doesn't make it hurt any less.
Yep. Also, Braden asks, do you think my Mortec, I assume it's
Yeah.
supposed to be Mortec crawlers are going to be okay? I hope so. I don't think OBR is probably going to be like
I think
one of the
they're
armies
fine.
that's.
Yep.
Yeah, I think OBR is like in a pretty decent spot balance wise right now. I've seen like a bunch of different lists that work for them. Like Cavalos, or like Death Rider spam is one that I've seen that is maybe like one of the less inspired ones. I've seen like Nagash plus X essentially, or Nagash plus 4 Morghasts, and then like a bunch of like Immortus Guard just to keep them alive kind of thing, which is kind of cool. So yeah, I think OBR is going to be pretty okay. I feel like it's not going to be the target of much balance at all, to be honest.
I think so too. By the way, before I forget, so I've turned off the article, right? We weren't looking at it anyway, and it was really bright. The title of the stream was, "We got new dice." So before I completely, because while we're talking about like everything else, I'll just throw them up so that they're kind of showing in the background. I got some new dice made. They are ultra matte and ultra cool. They're my new favorites, and I hope you guys like them. They are it's like the Hanzo the Rat, but he is evolved. and he's got gray seer horns now. So I'm calling them the Great Horn Rat dice. You can get them below. Yeah, again, they're ultra matte. Like Carson got some made up for his team. I don't know how much you can. Yeah. Oh, you can show them. There you go. They're also super matte, and like we rolled them into like the shadow in a dark room in his place, and we could see them from like across the way. You could read them from across the way. So they're really great with that. The only issue with them at all is taking pictures of them because they can like look, because they're so matte, they can kind of look like they have like dust on them, which looks bad, but they don't, obviously.
Which is weird because like I'm looking at these ones in my head and they're just
they're totally fine. It was the same thing here. I got my eyeball right up to these things, and then I was just like, there's nothing there. I don't get it. But then, you know, with like a telephoto lens on them, obviously. Anyway, they're the same price as the other ones. And yeah, I hope you guys like them. Great Horn Rat dice. Get them now. Link in the description below. So, sorry, going back to the chat. Also, I was going to say too, like if you don't really like, if you're looking for new models to Sigmar Scotty, the like just more rat ogres, because they're good. They're never going to be that bad unless they really mess with the points. And I don't see that happening because they're, you know, whatever. And they take all the buffs really well. They take all the other stuff really well. Like also like, because Thankwell has his own regiment of, oh, that was quick. Brayden, thank you so much. I assume that was the Skaven dice. Wow, thank you so much. I think you just bought some Skaven dice.
all of them, in fact.
Yeah,
that's new art. They're sold out.
Oh no, yeah. I should have put that many available. Wow, thank you so much, Brayden. That's really nice. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, Thankwell is not a bad investment either. And if you don't already own him, they're switching. Did you see they're switching the base size again?
No, I didn't.
This is his third. Yeah, this is his third base size change. So he was obviously on a square back in the day, and then he was on a 105 millimeter oval, and then they were accidentally putting a 90 millimeter oval in the box. So then they changed it. And now they're going back to the 105 oval. So I'm going to have to rebase him 3 or 4 times now. Because at one point, before we had official base sizes, I put him on a 120 oval. I'm actually, weirdly, I'm not upset. And here's why. He looked silly on a 90 millimeter oval. It's just too small a base. I think it was like it might have been better for him because that was what made him comboable with Lanshan, the Soul Seeker. But like, it just looks goofy. They call it the surfboard because it's so weirdly small. Yeah. But yeah, it's... Yeah, Hanzo gets a glow up.
That was even a thing.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like the storm vermin are going up to 28.5, but all that stuff is expected, you know. Actually, you know what's interesting?
Those are new models too.
Well, new models, exactly. So that makes sense. Whereas this is just a repackage. But yeah, as long as they don't change him after this, okay, fine. You know, I've already rebased him however many times, 3 or 4 times. And it kept getting smaller, so now I'm just going to rebase him completely, you know. Thanks for joining us, Bahamut. Thanks for not playing Space Marine 2 and for joining us. We appreciate you.
And thank you, Jim Skaven, and thank you, Darktron69, for not playing Space Marine 2. Leviticus, thank you for not playing Space Marine 2.
Yeah, we appreciate you. I absolutely adore Thankwell in Gotrek and Felix series. 100%. William King is... I will die on this hill. He is the best author that Black Library ever had. He has the best prose. He's got the best stories, the most interesting characters. And the Skaven Slayer novel is chef's freaking kiss. Are my dice 12 millimeter? They are 16 millimeter, the traditional. it's funny because I've been getting a lot of people asking about the 12 millimeter dice recently. When you have a channel, you have to have 60 millimeter dice because the 12 millimeters are just too small and they're hard to read on camera. But at some point, I will probably make them. The other thing too, though, is that the designs get really small and you can't really see what's going on. So I'd have to like really simplify them to put them on that. But yeah, at some point. Poor Think will always get screwed over by Godric and Felix unknowingly. I know. Man, that Skaven Slayer novel, I went back and listened to the Audible version after only having read it before. And, oh my goodness, Brayden.
Wait. This could be it. This could be it.
Holy, come on. It would be, it feels like it's impossible.
It's gotta be this time.
There's no way. Okay, Ludivicus, I don't know if I can believe you anymore. Come on, there's no way.
No.
2, 3,
You gotta be
4,
kidding me.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, 1, 2.
That's 10. That's it.
How is that possible? Ludivicus, there's no way. There's no way, man. I find it very difficult to believe that he's not in there. That he doesn't have it turned off. Like, how is it? Thank you, by the way. Brayden,
that's
thank
amazing,
you
Brayden. Thank
so
you so
much. You are so kind. I will get it updated. By the way, actually, I don't know if you guys were here when at the start of the stream, but I'm just going to flash back. We're going to keep talking. We are broadcasting. We are still live, but I wanted to show when there were more people here the new Magnificent Bastards, Hall of Magnificent Bastards stream starting soon. These are all the unbelievably kind people who donated. I made like a special thing, in glowing gold because those people are all absolute legends, absolute gold. Yeah. And Brayden is obviously in there too. Thank you again, Brayden. That's amazing. You are too kind. Way too kind. Oh my goodness. Someone else bought dice. I didn't look over in time. Could you tell Ludivicus we need more proof, please? Oh, sorry.
We need more proof.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was definitely prepared to interrogate you about this, Ludivicus, but
to ad lib.
you better do that somehow. Prove it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim, thank you so much. You're amazing. Jim got some dice.
Jim.
I will try and send them all out tomorrow.
They're not sent by tonight.
Yeah. The post office is closed, man. You're going to do that anyway.
You're right.
Yeah, tell Ludivicus. You're going to do that anyway.
Mr. Beasley in the chat. Oh, so okay. This is like a nice time to give up to explain some channel lore. Ludivicus, who's been in the chat forever, it feels like he's like a staple of the community for Saga of Dice.
Yeah.
Every single time someone like gifts subscriptions, it like randomly picks people in the chat, and he has never once gotten it. And as you just saw, like 10 gift subscriptions were given. There's only 20 people in the chat right now.
Yeah.
And guaranteed some of them were already, subscribed. They already have their Saga of Dice subscription. So it was a pretty high chance that he was going to get it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He's got to prove that he doesn't have it turned off, because you can basically refuse to have gift subscriptions be given to you essentially from any channel.
Yeah. I feel like okay, Ludivicus, you could be honest with us, okay? Did you, because like I didn't know you could turn it off and refuse them, right? Okay. I would understand if someone's like, oh, you can do that, and then they did it. You know what I mean? Because like I wouldn't have known about it. So I feel like, right? Provide rat dice, I will buy. That's how I felt, Jim. Actually, you know what's funny is, so like I these have to be ordered well in advance. It takes I started the process like 2 months ago. Sigmar lied, Ludivicus lied. Wait, is Ludivicus Sigmar? They're both liars. Or actually, I shouldn't have said that. Like Ludivicus is a liar. He is not a liar.
Well, he is.
He's
He is.
well, he is alive,
Can't
but
be
he's also a
trusted.
magnificent bastard, right?
It's not mutually exclusive, you know.
That's true. I didn't say it was. I thought, yeah, I could have sworn he was in here. Oh yeah, he's in there. He's in the middle. Okay.
Leviticus, I know you've sent the screenshot before, but there's nothing stopping you from just taking it off, taking a
Yeah,
screenshot, and just turning it
exactly.
right back in.
We need
So
a live feed.
I think what we have to do is we have to tell him to give us proof, and
Yeah.
then immediately try to gift sub while it's off for that short period of time that he's trying to send us proof. That's the only way we'll get
That's true.
to snipe him.
We need to have him on with like his desktop shared. That is off. Hands in the air. You know what I mean? I don't know.
He's
man.
just going to show us a video. It's not even going to be his desktop.
Yeah, he's gonna do that thing where you edit.
Oh
you know,
my
you can-
god!
Whoa!
I don't even think that's going to be able to get.
I
to
don't
everyone.
think that's possible. Oh my god, dude!
If this doesn't, Leviticus, I swear to God,
I swear to God,
this is your. It's got to be this one. All right. I don't see your name yet, Leviticus. Come on. I don't even. How are there this many people in the chat? I didn't even see all of them.
yeah, it's still going. How are these people? I don't even.
Leviticus, if this misses you, like it's confirmed.
There's.
I think it stopped.
It
I'm
stopped.
pretty sure it missed you. There's
Also-
only 20 people in the chat, Leviticus. How did it? How does that happen?
Sigmar lied. Ledivicus lied. I don't know what to believe
There's
anymore.
no way.
Oh my god. Yo, okay. First of all,
Yeah, that's incredible, Braden. I don't
Braden,
even know what to say to that.
that's
Thank you.
way too kind, man. You're so generous. You're so nice. Thank you so much. Also, you just outed Ledivicus.
Yeah. Well, Chris says you don't have to be in the chat to get it. How does that? I'm sure
that
it doesn't
work?
just like pick a random.
But it must go for those people first,
Yeah, you would think it would.
right? I mean, I assume it has to go to subscribers and stuff like that, right?
Huh.
It has to be turned off. I gifted one for everyone in the chat plus some. yeah.
But there's other people that don't have it either. Like Jim Skaven, I don't see. Chris doesn't have it. Darktron. How does that work?
What? Oh, really? Okay, maybe we were a little bit. It didn't hit Matt either.
Yeah.
Wait, but
Huh.
Matt, do you have it turned off? Wait, no. There's no no one's gonna have it like pre-turned off, right?
Well,
Like, no one
it's
who
something
isn't
you
like
can
a-
turn off in general.
Yeah.
Like it's not per channel. Oh yeah, it didn't hit Bear either. It didn't hit like any of the people that were actually chatting. It feels like.
Okay. Maybe we were a little hard on Ledivicus. But like that's so stupid though. Like why wouldn't it go for those people first?
I don't know. It never hits me either. Even though I'm not Saga of Dice in the chat.
That's true, but you are well, yeah, I don't want to go into too much into the sausage making stuff, but like
Sure. No, I know what you're about
I can
to
see
say.
it
but
I
yeah.
can see it avoiding you like for that reason, but it picks subs. I have been gifted on other channels at work and not watching stream. What?
Oh,
I
weird.
guess maybe we're thinking of like how Twitch works. You know what I mean?
Huh.
So like Chris, thank you for telling us that, by the way. Braden
Braden one for
yeah,
himself.
Braden never got anyone. Yeah, I remember when. Do you remember when Keith gifted a gift sub and it gave it to Keith, and he was like, "I did not do that on purpose. I swear to God." It was so funny. Braden, thank you so much. You're crazy generous, man. Like that's too much. You're so nice. But like, I wanted to ask too, Chris. So like, how did you know that you got gifted? Like, do you get some kind of notification or like an email or something? I've never been hit with a gift sub ever on any stream, Twitch, or anything.
Yeah. Also, Chimerical Wolf. When you get it, it'll turn your name green in the chat.
And you get like a
just-
little rat logo next to your name.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if maybe there's like a notification that you get or something.
Also,
Yeah.
you anyone who's a member gets access to all the funky little emotes that I made. Oh, and I got to add the new Hunzo evolved or Gracie Rob evolved. I'm not sure. I haven't really fully decided on a name because yeah, thank you for spamming those in the chat. If you are I'm definitely gonna add the evolved one. So like the thinking behind it too was, okay, so I didn't make. Carson made a Meat King logo symbol to make for the dice, and which are also up for sale. By the way, I did hear another Etsy thing go through. Don't let me forget to check that. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, you made that, and that kind of represents Carson, right? And then I made one for Kenrick, which is the moon one on there, the Good Vibes moon. That's Kenrick's because he's like his main army is Gits, and I wanted to make something. Yeah, thank you. And so then I was like, oh, but I don't have one, and like I'm designing all of these things except for the Meat King one, of course. And so I was like, okay, well, I can be the rat because that's my favorite thing, and so yeah, so I don't know. I might call it Gracie Rob Evolved. I'm not sure.
I can draw you one real quick if you want.
Is it going to be a penis?
No.
Is it going to be a middle finger?
Here, I'll share my screen real quick.
Can you share it without blurring it out? Is what I'm asking, I suppose.
No. All right, so I'm just gonna wash out my face here, and I'm gonna look like I'm staring into like a reactor core on a spaceship. So let's start off with like a bit of a silhouette. Actually, what's your favorite fruit? How about that?
My favorite fruit?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. I like a lot of fruits. I really like raspberries.
Okay, well I can't draw raspberries, so I'm gonna draw a banana.
Okay.
So
I knew it was gonna be a penis. I do not like bananas. Get it out of here.
there we go.
Why?
And
I don't want a banana.
And we'll give you a little eyeball here. You're staring, right?
Okay.
And you're mad. You're mad. I don't know why, but you are.
Okay.
And then
I'm known for being mad.
Let's get you a little mouth that's like up here, and the rest of this is you got like this jacked, just ripped, just gun show. All right.
I think you're thinking of the people. This is clearly meant for the people who are on Season of War.
That's right.
I don't got abs, but you need to have abs.
Well, you don't have abs. You'll have so you got like a beer belly.
Okay.
And just these big guns, like Scryer.
I'm pretty sure this is a banana taking its pants off.
We can give him pants.
Okay.
There we go. It's perfect. And then
I'm so
just so that
nervous
people
right
know
now.
it's you.
It's not me. I don't even like bananas. This is bullcrap.
Let's make it yellow. There we go.
I'm much more pale than that.
There you go. There's your channel logo. Oh, and you got a yellow belly. There you go.
I mean, that
You're welcome.
Makes sense, Skaven. Well, at least it wasn't a penis. I'm a little relieved.
I'll add that after.
That one's just for you, though, Carson.
Yeah. Banana door. Wow. This is not exactly the content I was expecting. You give us much too much credit, to be honest. This is a complete. Is that banana pregante? Yes, it is. Yeah.
Any
Rob
credit
is a
you
known
give us,
pregnant man. Yeah.
Any credit you give us is too much credit, though. To be fair.
Are we watching Carson lose his mind live? Yes.
Yeah. Fun fact: you can't lose your mind if you've already lost it.
Fair.
Yeah.
I'm just in a perpetual cycle of continuously losing my mind.
Yep. He defies physics. I'm going to, before I forget again, I think I heard another one. Sebastian, thank you so much. That's really kind. I hope you guys like them. My inaugural roll, I took a picture of it. Here, 1 second. Is this... Can I get... No, I can't. I changed the... I wanted... You can see my inaugural roll. I think I put it up on there. It's the one on my map on my computer right here, and it was a good roll. And I rolled them just before the stream, and I got this. Oh no, wait. What? Oh, weird. Okay. I'm switching it because I'm switching it back to what it was. Okay. So I had 2 6s, 2 5s, a 4, and a 2. So they don't always roll that. They are fair because they are very square. But I'm just saying.
And as we know, it is hip to be square.
That's true. I'm just saying they were definitely blessed by the Great Horn Rat. And also they are made out of warpstone snuff. Ground up warpstone that you snort like cocaine. Yep.
Yes. Yep, that
they
makes
will give you
total
magic
sense
powers. Also, I hope you guys read the description. I wrote it really quickly, but I think it's pretty great. So, yeah.
This week we're discussing the. Oh, you mean on the on the Etsy? Which description?
You're supposed to say that peaches are your favorite fruit, Rob. I really like a good peach. Peaches, nectarines, I really do like them. Mangoes, kiwis, strawberries. I kind of like fruit. Not bananas, though. I'm just kidding. I don't mind bananas. They do not mix well, though, with my gastro disorder. So, like, I haven't had banana in a long time. But I was telling you a long time ago, too, that my favorite, strangely, this would never occur to me, like, my top, like, 2, maybe 3 favorite flavors of these, like, coolers that they used to make in Japan. One of them was banana flavored. It was called Gorilla. And it was really good. They had banana rather. They had chili pepper. Both were surprisingly delicious. But my favorites were banana, blueberry, and pineapple. They were crazy good. Bobo!
Yeah, this is a Warhammer podcast, by the way. We promise.
What?
Right? That's today, right? It's not Wednesday.
I'm sorry. It's Tuesday. Right.
Yeah.
I thought.
Anyway.
I thought it was the Drawing Bananas podcast.
No. That's no one.
Right, because that's Carson and Rob instead of Rob and Carson. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the one that I host. Like I'm the main host for that one.
Right.
It is stupid. It's real dumb.
No, I mean I'm stupid for not remembering that today was Tuesday.
Yeah. That's okay.
Instead of Friday.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, you got out of list paralysis. That's good.
Oh.
I don't know what army. Age of Sigmar.
I hope so. I'm curious to hear what you landed on because I know that you're kind of like juggling between Slaves to Darkness, Gits, and ogres. I personally am like, I'm done with list building for ogres. Like
that makes sense.
It's just so boring. I need to move on to some other things and play some other armies. So I'm actually really excited to be playing Gits for the channel, and especially like weird Gits too. It's gonna be
you're bringing something pretty original. I'm all about it. I'm all about it.
It's gonna be a fun time. I think it's gonna be a fun stream. But I've been looking into other armies too. Definitely playing on like TTS after AOS Masters. I'm gonna be branching out into some other stuff. Yeah. Hi, Rob.
Hey,
it's
Ryan.
me and Liam's friends.
Yo, Ryan, thanks for joining us, man. I hope you're doing well. I don't know what my son is up to, but thanks for joining us.
Taking over the world, I'm sure.
Yep.
Bear says, need to make a Yeti Hunter list for ogres. I wish those models were good. Because like I can't justify buying those models. I don't really want to buy proxies because I have a feeling that they're either going to get completely axed or like reworked. So I'd rather just wait until that happens before I do that. Because like the GW Yetis are just ugly, like super ugly.
What do you want to bet? Like, I would put money, and everyone knows I'm the god of predictions for this, right? I would put money down that we get like some kind of Seraphon style rework of ogres this edition.
I'm almost positive it's going to happen, which is also another reason why I didn't really want to have to paint more gluttons. but I am just because I have a feeling the like main battle line for ogres is probably going to get a rework
For sure.
because I think like the core 3 kits, which are like Iron Guts, Gluttons, and Lead Belchers, are all the exact same body. And actually, even Mournfang, you can take their arms and they fit perfectly onto like the
That's
bodies of like the core, which is great, but it's also like borderline monopose, like just because the legs are so static, I guess. Braden
right.
says, if you want a TTS game, I'd love to jam a game. If you ever want to just hit me up. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm down for a TTS game. A
Yeah, that
cheeky
sounds awesome.
TTS. One of the
I
only
would.
ways I can play with. What's up, sorry?
Well, I was gonna say like if you guys are down, like I wouldn't mind just hanging out and you know.
Actually, it's just between me and Braden. I don't think
I'm
he
sorry.
invited
I'm
you.
sorry. No, I know he didn't invite me. he didn't. He didn't even ask me to play.
I think it's just me and Braden, to be honest.
Well, to be fair, I'm bad at TTS. Like, but I'm good at watching TTS. I'm just saying.
Rob is the voyeur of Warhammer.
That's true. They've always said that about me.
Yes.
Sorry, I lost the plot. It was between Gits, Slaves, and Ogres. Nothing. So did you settle on Gits, Bobo? I'm just curious because like I think like between those 3 armies, although man, like Gits are really seeing a lot of people move in their direction. You know what I mean? Because of like trolls, essentially, right? Like they're actually, I actually think that Gits are in the best spot because like they're not coming in like too much. Like they're not crazy at tournament, right? Or maybe they're doing well. I can't remember.
They do pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah, they've done pretty well at tournaments. I don't think they like win a lot of tournaments, but they do quite well. And I think that the one danger thing for Gits is that every single list that does well has like 18 trolls in it, basically.
Rockets.
And that's like a huge red flag as far as GW is concerned. Like I don't think they ever want to see that many of the same war scroll in one list. So
yeah, I don't think that they're wrong.
Yeah. Sitting in the corner of the sim room. Ooh.
What's that?
That's in response to the voyeur of Warhammer comment, I think.
Yeah. I'm usually like I have like some shades that I install in the middle of the room just so I can like lower them and peek between the shades. Like that. And I just stare. Yeah.
He does like to stare. And it's greatly uncomfortable.
Yeah. Do what you love. Yeah, I think so. I would, one of these days we're going to get like a good Spider Fang War Scroll and like they're going to be good. Actually, they actually were good in AOS 1. There was a time where Spider Fang were actually top tier in AOS 1. So I guess they're still paying for that. Even though no one remembers it, but like me and like Tom Lyons, But
yeah. It'd be kind of interesting to see like a Spider Fang rehash in some way. I would like that, but I can also see why they might not expand out that direction, just because when you think of like how they've designed Spider Fang rules wise and like kind of what they are, like poison weapons essentially, Cruel Boys has kind of already taken that to some extent.
Yep.
And I could see maybe they don't want armies to be like stepping on each other's toes so much.
I weirdly think that they're fine. Like the Arachnarok model is amazing. Like it's a gorgeous model. Even though it is old, I think it holds up. The regular Spider Riders they're not great, but they're fine. They're like the old Clan Rats or like, you know what I mean? They're fun. Like I think you could do more with them than like people tend to do. I think all we really need is a new guy on Spider. Are we getting out? No, damn it, piece of crap. No, Carson. No
Someone
more.
told me to draw a picture of Rob looking through some blinds, so god damn it, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Well, then shouldn't you take a screenshot of me posing first?
Well, this is you posing. It's you going. Through the blinds.
And I gotta,
No. It's better
What
if
do
you
you
don't
mean?
know. It's
This
better if you
looks
don't know.
this looks like I think you're an idiot, which I do. Just to be clear.
All right, let's see. Let's see. It's all right. Let's take a look at the fill. We'll go solid color. I know how to use this
Don't you guys
technology.
think? Don't you guys think that this would be a lot better if I was looking into the camera at least? Oh, I kind of like that.
Slowly but surely, you know, just
Damn you, Chris! Shit my fist at you.
let's see. Let's see. And he's just peeking through, you know?
Man,
just
those are some cheap blinds that I got.
yeah. The Venetian. Okay. Yeah.
I grew up with Venetian blinds.
There we go. I still have them. I still got them.
The only thing
All
bad
right.
about Venetian blinds is they are too thin. You know.
Oh. Oh.
Okay.
That's crop
Yeah.
right there.
The Trogs
so we
win
got
rate
some
is
blinds
very
here.
high. It's suppressed by non-Trogs, says Matt. Yeah.
And he's drooling onto the blinds, I think. That makes sense. Just like, yeah. You know? Just
I
getting all
do
excited.
I do a lot of drooling on blinds, to be fair. But
And he's sad. He's just sad.
I'm
He's
sad.
just having a bad time.
I'm sad that like Giselle, you know, are 18 inches now. And by the way, Matt, if you're still here, we did bring up your show on AOS Coach, and we did recommend it. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Welcome to the Skaven Brotherhood. Frankly, you're a better person now, I think. Which was a good idea, but I guess I'm a corn guy now. Gonna kit bash me a list of all 3 bloodthirsters plus Scarbrand. That sounds awesome. Like if you're playing corn and you don't have at least 3 bloodthirsters, then what are you even doing? What is going on?
Matthew S. says, the Louvre just called and they want their painting back. No,
You can't have it.
it's mine.
It's a part of his private collection again.
Maybe up on this part, there's like some boogers because like his nose has been touching it a little too much.
I mean,
Yeah.
and it does look like my boogers because they are made of 50% warpstone.
Yep.
Actually,
The Robalisa.
I
right.
do a lot of warpstone snuff in my spare time. That's how I knew how to
Yes.
get the recipe just right for the dice.
Yeah. There we go.
So Bobo, Carson actually used to do regular TTS streams. Maybe we could do that again at some point.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it
I'd be
was.
down to do that.
I forget why you even stopped. Do you know?
It was actually so it was kind of weird. What happened was on the well, so it was I did like AOS All Stars as a show idea, and at first I was like, no one's going to agree to do this to come on the channel and like play a game in front of a bunch of people. Or like maybe a couple people will, but I ended up scheduling it with a lot of people, and to my surprise, every single person said yes. And what ended up happening was it created like a backlog of people that went out like 2.5 months. And by the time we actually got to that person's slot, they'd be like, I forgot this was happening and I can't do it anymore. And I was like, uh-oh. And that happened like 3 times in a row. And I was just like, you know what? The new edition's going to be coming out soon.
Right.
There's other things that I'd rather focus on first, like other things on the channel too. So I kind of just put it on the back burner for a while, but it could definitely come back. I think I'd be interested in doing like an all-star stream again. Maybe even just periodically, not scheduling it out like crazy like I did before. So
yeah, that's a great idea. Just be like, hey, you know, we're not going to be doing a battle report X week. Are you down? Like, you know, 1 or 2 weeks in advance, and then, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
I think also at the time, weren't we like converting the studio into like
we were.
Yeah, and then that was like there was a lot of work that went into just making that studio function with actual cameras. So yeah, like, but that would be awesome to do that again. Maybe I could like be an announcer for it.
Yeah,
I think that's a bad idea. Actually,
a caster for one game. and the
Yeah.
people can hear you casting it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty stupid decision on Carson's part. I don't know why he picked that battle tactic.
Okay, wait a minute. No, I'm back on. Now I want to do it again. Another dumb play by Carson. What an idiot. Yeah.
Wow. I've never met a more idiotic person in my life. Not once. Not once. Yeah. Yeah, it could definitely be something that we pick up again. Just doing like a TTS stream again. Maybe I'm trying to think of when it would be a good idea to start that. I would kind of want to do that maybe like after a battle scroll, after the next couple set of tournaments,
Right.
just because I've been focusing on that a decent amount. Kind of getting like the regular live stream up too. But maybe October we could start it up again. That could be fun.
That sounds great. The weather's going to start to, cool down, and it'll probably be really rainy. So it's a good time to do it. Thanks, Bobo. That's very kind. Yeah, we got a new one coming this Thursday. Gloomspite gets Civil War. It's gonna be weird, but it's gonna be really good. We got a lot of surprises. Sean Evans, painter extraordinaire, made us an amazing surprise.
Not Sean Evans, not the host of Hot Ones. The host of Hot Ones.
I haven't even watched the Hot Ones in so long. Yeah. I'm so sorry, Sean. I've known Sean. You know what's crazy is I picked up the surprise, and I was telling someone, that what was it? Oh, they asked, how long have you known Sean for? And I was like, in real life or online? And they were like, what? And I was just like, okay, I've known him in real life for like a year now, but I've known him online for like 8 years now. And because I knew him through the, what's it called? Vince's he had a Google Plus group like 8 years ago or whatever. And it was Painters Motivating Painters, the PMP. And so I knew him on there, and he's like this amazing artist, and he does other stuff too, not just miniatures. And I was just like blown away by it. And he's always so positive and nice, as you know. So he's an amazing guy. I had no idea he was local though until like a year ago, and then I met him, and he's like, "Hey, Rob," or whatever, and I was like, "Hey, I don't know you," and he's like, "It's Sean." I was like, "What? You're local?" "Yeah, man." "What?" That's so crazy. So yeah, I've known him for a long time. Super good guy. Picked up a surprise. We've got a few things planned for this stream. It's gonna be a cracker. It's Carson versus Kenrick. Yeah, I don't want to say anything more, but yeah, be there, be square. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, square like these dice, which you can find on Etsy.
Hey!
Yay!
Look how well they come up, like even on this crappy webcam.
That's true. Yeah, I see. You got a 2, a 6, a 6, and a 5, 5, and a 4.
Yeah, that was my inaugural roll right before the stream. I'm keeping it real. Yeah, you can see them without any light. You can see them in the vacuum of space across the table.
The contrast is so high. Oh my God.
You know what's crazy though? Like, okay, I'm not trying to like. You guys have already bought dice, been very generous. Obviously, Braden always just blowing our minds with generosity. But like, and obviously, I was referring to the people who bought dice as well, which included Braden. But like, I went into I pre-ordered the Skaven dice that they, we knew we were gonna get Skaven dice, right? But we just didn't know what they were going to look like. And then I saw them and I was just like, no. They look exactly the same. So these kind of showed up at a good time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, Matt says only Kenrick gets rock guts or squigs. Yeah, that's fair. I'll allow it. Gotta run. Thanks for joining us, Matt. Thanks for hanging out. And thanks for not playing Space Marine 2.
That's probably what it's going to go do.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, thanks for delaying it at least. That was kind. Who do I support? You know what? Like, our battle reports, you don't even need to worry about that. You know? We're there to have a good time and to entertain you at our own expense most of the time. You know?
Yep. By God, Kenrick will eat those cheeseburgers. And I will hurt myself by playing this weird list.
Okay.
Yeah. Almost got you there.
You know, I feel
darts. Go ahead.
I feel like hurting yourself, and I'm only referring to you, Carson. Hurting yourself is okay for you as long as you're only hurting your soul. Because it's already
That's
damaged goods.
That's fair. I'll accept that. And you'll see it live this Thursday.
Carson will dispense with whatever's remaining of his soul.
I'll just shamble onto screen and say, "Hey, everybody, what's up? I don't want to be here. And I'm sad. But here I am, playing hits against this jerk.
For your amusement." Yeah, exactly.
All for you.
And it will upset your dog.
Yes. Everything does. Everything does.
Everything does, yeah. Dang. Chris is getting aggressive, but I like it. It's true. I mean, to be fair, Kenrick always said he will abide by whatever promises that Carson makes on his behalf. So,
Yep.
Yeah. It's really up to Carson, I feel like.
And what do I say? More cheeseburgers.
More cheeseburgers.
I'm reducing the rate. Instead of $7 a cheeseburger, it is now $6. Kenrick, I hope you're watching.
I hope you're not. I hope you get to find out about this live on stream.
Yeah.
You know what, Carson? I'm feeling generous. I think we should lower the price even more, like $5. It's a
You don't
nice
get to decide.
even number. What do you mean? No, I didn't
said it was me.
I
and
know,
me
but,
alone.
like, I'm just, that was a suggestion.
I don't take those.
I
don't do that.
Okay, but like, hear me out. Okay, so like, if it's $6, right? If it's $6 a burger, and then we get, like, let's say someone gives $20, that's only 3 burgers. But if it's $5 a burger, then it's 4 burgers for $20.
All right. $5 a burger.
Okay,
Yeah,
$5 a burger.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
1 sub equals 1 burger.
Wait, can we retroactively apply it?
Of course. And we have. And we're counting the stream PC funds too.
He's going to be dead. He's going to be dead by next week.
Kenrick will die for the channel.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
He's here. I'm really into the new channel logo for Rob. Thanks, man. We need dice. And we have them. Oh, God. I'm so worried now that Kenrick is going to catch up to our promises on his behalf.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope he doesn't.
I hope he has it on mute. Because you know how you mute some podcasts, right? Like
yeah,
that.
That's fair. We're definitely a mutable podcast.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's true. You're not wrong.
Jean-Paul Talbot. Welcome to the chat. Thank you for not playing Space Marine 2.
Thank you for not playing Space Marine 2, Jean-Paul. We appreciate you. We appreciate all of you. Okay. Should we go back to, even if it's briefly, should we go back to the article? Do you see that there was like a an Anvil of Apotheosis style, like make your own character in the new Skaven Battletome?
No, I didn't see that. Is that for Path to Glory?
No, it's for like it's kind of for narrative games. I think it's like because like they did the same thing in Thondia. So okay, I'll find
John
that.
Paul says, "What is Space Marine 2?" Don't, please don't search it up, or else you're going to leave the stream. I feel like the stream is half people who don't care about 40K and half people who don't know what it is yet. And
yeah, please don't leave us. We love you.
Yeah.
Okay. There are way too many things on here now. So podcast, pegs, and then Chrome. Okay. Whoops. Oh, it didn't come up. There we go. Nope. Still not up, huh? There we go. Okay. I didn't have a chance to read this, and it came out 4 days ago apparently. So that's kind of blowing my mind. So there's different Destiny point limits, which is kind of interesting. So there's Skaven Underling. Destiny point limit is 10. Wait, maybe we should read the whole thing. I guess. With the new, much expanded Anvil of Apotheosis section in Battletome Skaven, you can guide the twitching claw of destiny and spawn your own vile champion to command your armies on... Oh yeah, you're right, the Path to Glory. That makes sense, because it's very narrative focused. Yeah, so I think that's probably a good choice. Oh, I see, and destiny limits... Wait, what? The process is simple but effective, and there will be similar systems in all forthcoming Battletomes, which is really good to hear, actually. There are 3 hero point levels to choose from, each worth a base points cost, and each with a pool of destiny points to spend on improvements. Okay, so battle profile cost... Oh, I see. So if their battle profile is 150, or I'm assuming or less, you get 10 destiny points to soup them up, right? Okay, that makes sense, I think. What's kind of sad is we never really looked into the new or what do you call it, the new system for Path to Glory in general. So I think we're missing some information here. But next, you must decide which of the great clans to join. Okay, for the cost of 4 destiny points, you get a unique ability and a list of units who can join your regiment. They can be aspiring claw lord of the clan Verminous, rallying their clan rats with a cry of back to the fray minions, or perhaps they are a member of the phlegmatic clergy of clans Pestilence, spreading their plagues as a festering chanter. Okay. So for 4 destiny points, Clan Verminous... Oh, I see. Each time a friendly Clan Rats or Storm Vermin unit within 13 inches of this unit uses the rally, you can make 3 additional rally rolls, rather. That's kind of fun. Clans Pestilin for 4 points. Pick a number of enemy units within 6 inches to be the targets. Inflict D3 mortal damage. Not even a roll. That's kind of nice. I'm not used to seeing no roll or no 3 or 4 rolls. Okay. Despite that city dwellers will have you believe every Skaven has an origin. Sorry, it's really bright. Some are born with the confidence of a natural swarm chief, while others are blessed or just lucky. Origins. Once per army, any combat phase, for 4 destiny points, you can get... pick a friendly Skaven unit wholly within 13 inches of this unit and not in combat to be the target. The target can move D6 inches. It can move into combat. Wow, that's kind of cool. Again, this is just for narrative stuff, But
yeah,
I don't know. It's like this is the kind of thing I'm super into. Like I love my narrative slow grows, as most that know me will, testify to. But and then passive. So origins is... These are 2 different things to pick from, I guess. So you can also have passive. This unit earns D3 additional renown points after. That's kind of boring. I actually like, you know what I mean? It's just like, okay, That's just like makes them more powerful, essentially, right? Doesn't even say they have to survive. I'm not sure if that's a thing or not, but okay. And then flaws. Whoa, you can get more Destiny points by adding flaws? That's so awesome. What? Oh my god. Suitably paranoid. What a name for Skaven. Subtract 1 from hit rolls and wound rolls for this unit's attacks while they are within the combat ranges of other friendly units. God dang, that's so awesome. And then lead from the back. Subtract 1 from the number of dice rolled when making charge rolls for the... Oh my god, to a minimum of... That's... You would never want that. That's way too much. Like...
Maybe if it's a caster. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
You
That's
never want him to
interesting.
be in combat anyway.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a great point, actually. Yeah, maybe on your Grey Seer or something. I don't know if it's worth the additional... like...
Might be. I don't... Like, yeah, if it's a Grey Seer, like, why would you ever want to charge with it? And
yeah, that's true. But then you could also just have subtract 1 from hit wounds and wound rolls because they're like...
Could you do both?
Oh, that's interesting. For +8?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Oh man, this is pretty rad. I hope you guys like this. There are also mounts available, such as the Gangly Knob Beast, which changes the base statistics of your hero. These can be shaped into more unique forms by the Master Molder, such as Best Warpstone Spikes, which provide enhanced spell resistance. So for 5 Destiny points, add the following to your hero's War Scroll. Gnaw Beast, which gets an attack profile of 4 attacks, 4s, 3s, 1 rend, d3 damage. Change the move characteristic to 9, health to 7, save characteristic to 4, replaces the infantry with the cavalry keyword. That makes sense. And then Molder Beast Mutations, 10 Destiny points, so all of them. Best Warpstone Spikes. If this unit or friendly Skaven unit wholly within 13 inches of this unit was picked to be the target of a spell, on a 4-up, ignore the spell on this unit or that friendly unit. This unit can use this ability more than once per phase, but only once per spell ability. Jeez, that's really fun and strong, obviously. Basically, they took out the old Hell Pit Abomination rule and they gave it to them. That's fun. And so they're just kind of showing you how to like make them. Man, I like this though. I really like that they do this kind of thing. I think that they know, like, this is one of the things I was talking about earlier where it's like, it feels like something they know. I think that they're aware that this doesn't make them any money. Like, essentially, you know, like, honestly, like, their time would be better spent elsewhere if we're just thinking about money. But it's the kind of thing that where they add to the consumer experience, they can kind of create these lifelong fans of people who just really like what they do, you know? Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can see yourself getting kind of like lost in this sort of stuff if you have like a good group of friends that's running a Path to Glory campaign. Yes. Should we start and abandon another Path to Glory campaign on the channel, Rob?
Should we? We should definitely start one. I'm putting the dice picks back up. They're so beautiful. I
would directly have them.
Yeah. Only snort them. So like now, before what we were doing was we had the handy cam. So we were right in on the action. You know what I mean? And that was really suitable to a narrative style battle report that gets edited, etc. But now that we've got like the overheads and like we've got like the main cam, you're not in the action as much. It doesn't like our current style doesn't lend itself to any kind of narrative game right now. But I do want to do it. Like, I legitimately would really like to do it. I think they have to be edited reports, though. Right?
Yeah, I could see that. I could see also Chimerical Wolf. There's an Etsy link in the description if you want to go check out the dice.
Yep.
I could see like not a handy cam, but some sort of spider cam making its way into our setup eventually, where once we get like a proper overlay going and what's
Sorry,
up?
you just said spider cam like anyone knows what we're talking about.
Oh, sorry. It's usually you have like a little tripod and then you have a camera on top, and then you can kind of move it around on the go. So you set up like an action shot where people can see like the models like really close up, and you get like a really nice view of them. I think that would actually be like a pretty nice thing to add in the future. Definitely not now because we just spent a lot of money. But
yeah, we sure did. Yeah, and honestly, I think there's a couple of things that like I was talking about, like maybe getting some. We actually should talk about this with the chat. I think like it would be good to get an idea of what they want. Because like I was talking about like I'm sorry, I don't know what I was thinking.
No,
that's only for the banana drawing podcast. Again, I keep thinking it's Wednesday or Friday. Both of those days we do private banana drawing podcasts. Obviously,
that one's Saggy Old Dice. Not Saga of Dice.
Right. I'm so sorry. I get them confused all the time. But I was thinking like maybe, just hear me out, if we get an idea of what the chat wants and what the people who watch the battle reports want, then we can kind of fulfill, like, because I threw around the idea, like, I kind of feel like we need more and or better mats. So we were looking at like maybe getting some from Ricky Fisher to use on the channel. Stuff like that. Or do people just like, no, like, you idiots, we really want Maggotkin. Like, you don't do enough Maggotkin. Like, get on it, get a Maggotkin army, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. Like, do you want more armies? Like, what do you want? Or do you want like, cameras, like, like some things are obviously more expensive than others. Like mats are a lot cheaper than whole Maggotkin armies or cameras and that kind of thing. But yeah, like there's a few ideas we've been throwing around. We are plebe. We don't know what is good for us. I feel like that's true of all of us. You know what I mean? It's like, was it, oh man, I can't remember who said this, but it's like Arthur C. Clarke or someone. Someone said there are two great tragedies in life. One is not getting what we want, and the other is getting it. We really don't know what we want, but yeah, it's more armies, says Jean Paul. Yeah, like, and what armies? We obviously have Skaven covered, more than covered. We've got Gits actually even more covered because Kenrick and I both have armies. We have ogres covered, arguably two covered as well. Deepkin, Seraphon, Flesh Eater Courts. What's that?
Stormcast. Soulblight.
If Carson gets off his ass, we might have some Slaves to Darkness.
Yeah.
Idiot.
I really want to get on painting more of them. That'll probably be the next things I start painting. Kenrick gave me a really good idea for painting my Be'lakor. I'm going to try and paint him like gaunt white. Like, how I paint my Gorgers with like the creepy white skin? Ooh. I'm going to do that for Be'lakor and then like paint all the flags on him like I was saying. So
you haven't told anyone about the flags though, right?
I think I have. I feel like I brought it up on this. What?
Okay.
Look, I'm not into like hiding ideas from people. Like, an idea is worthless, in my opinion. It's the execution that matters, right?
Yeah, but you don't want to get people excited for something and then not deliver either.
Yeah, that's fair. And I won't.
Okay, fair enough.
I shan't deliver. I shall
Daughters of Cain and
never deliver. Daughters of Cain would be cool. Both of those would be great to have on the channel. I think both of them are kind of like styles of army that we don't typically play on the channel as much.
True.
There's a lot of destruction represented. Or I guess you have Cruel Boys too, right? That you can...
Yep, that's true. Forgot. Yeah. Sean says trees. That's true. We do, like, we have a few different friends who play Sylvaneth. This obviously Andy is the probably the main one. But Darren plays them. He played them most recently on the channel, I think. We do like, yeah, daughters. We do have access to Dale, but he hasn't been really like into being in battle reports. But Nurgle is like the only thing I feel like we don't have anyone who plays it on the channel. That's why I actually brought up Nurgle. And we've also had people like, I remember Jason M. I don't want to say his full name just in case. He was going like, get some OBR and Fire Slayers. Okay, Fire Slayers, we have Alex. OBR, we have Matthias. I wonder if we should get Matthias on. Play some OBR.
No.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like we haven't had any guests on the channel since we started live streaming, actually, really. Except
Andy. Poor Andy.
Yeah.
Not Andy Selwood, who's been a mainstay on this channel since its inception. Andy Greystone, also known as Chaos Andy, was kind enough to come on and play for 3rd edition. He played his like first full game of AOS like live or something. Extenuating circumstances. That's true. Yeah. Well, and I brought it up with a couple of people. I think a lot of people want to play because like it didn't occur to me how much fun it would be to play live on stream.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's a ton of fun. And there's definitely some people who have been on the channel before that I think would do great in a live medium. So yeah, it would be great to have them on. Ludvika says, I really want to see Kenrick play Fire Slayers, to be honest. I think like a pipe dream of mine is that we have like most of the armies for the channel like painted so that we can just pick them up off the shelf and say like, all right, we're doing this week. And then we can kind of do that. Because it is a little bit of a hassle. Like it's basically like I have ogres, Kenrick has Stormcast and Gits for like channel ready armies fully painted, and then everything else is Rob's. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, and to be fair, like in your guys' defense, you are more recent additions to the channel. I started the channel, and so it used to be entirely my responsibility to provide, most of the variety. It was usually me and whoever was kind enough to come on and join me in a battle report, right? So, but yeah, going forward, like, I don't know, like, what's weird is like, I've never liked Nurgle, but recently, I don't know, it feels right. I think they're a great channel army. I think they're popular. I don't think they're that hard to paint, and I don't think they'd be that hard to like learn and play. But yeah, like having like, thank you, Beefy. Those are the new channel dice. Sorry. Yes, we are in Vancouver, Canada. Not Vancouver, Washington. Just kidding. Love you. Yeah. But yeah, like like having, a stable of channel armies. I don't think it's a pipe dream because, like, as you've said, like I've already covered a decent amount. Like we just need to slap a little bit of paint on some of the Night Haunt armies that are actually my sons, and then we've got every Death army covered except for OBR. And then we have Matthias for that, right? And every Destruction army except for Iron Jaws, and we have Alex for that. Is that right? Oh, no, we don't have Giants. Oh, well, I guess Alex plays Giants as well. I do have Giants. I just have had minus 20 hours of time to paint them. I think we have enough Giants to play them. Anyway.
You have 3 Mega Gardens or 4?
I think I have 2 and King Broad unbuilt, and then like 3 Man-Eaters, I think.
Okay.
In AOS 3, it came out to like 19, 20 points or something.
Right.
So maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I know that the King Broad stomped list that was very common at the end of 3rd was like Broad, Gate Breaker, War Stomper, and then 4 of the Man-Eater guys, the little guys.
I don't know what any of them. I know what the Kraken Eater looks like, and I know the Beast Smasher guy because he's got a giant hammer, and the rest I don't know. Or I know King Broad obviously, but yeah, he's a named character. But yeah, Gate Breaker, Gate Smasher, I don't know. Stomper? I don't know. Doesn't matter. I'm debating doing base adapter to do my old world Tomb Kings as Bone Reapers. Yeah, absolutely. I've excuse me. I've seen other people do that in the past, Bear, and it's awesome. You should definitely do that. Why aren't you already doing that? You know?
Go do it right now.
Go do it. Yeah. Leave here. Play some Space Marine 2. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. Yeah.
Please don't. Please.
Yeah. Please don't.
We're begging you, don't do
Please. For real. Okay. So we have like OBR because Matthias is such a great player and he's a great guest. So I think we can leave OBR to Matthias. We just need to be more like conscientious about like inviting him and planning ahead. Right. Okay. Chaos. We've got Skaven, obviously. We've got Slaves to Darkness kind of a little bit covered.
Yeah, Eric's got it, and then
Oh, that's true.
I'll have it at some point soon too.
I was thinking of Andy as well. But it would be good if like we had like access to yours as well. So we're working on it. We're working on it. It's a work in progress. Korn, we have Andy, the other Andy. And Matthias, actually. And then what else? What else is there?
Slaanesh, which we don't have covered.
We don't have covered, do we?
Yeah, and neither do we. And so Slaanesh and Nurgle are like the two big ones that we don't have covered.
Right.
Because Skaven, we've got.
Or Zeech.
Or Zeech, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. We're not doing great at chaos, it seems. Drink some water. Yeah. I run out of water. I need to go get more. I'm debating. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Zeech. Oh, man. That's going to be difficult. Okay. Let's move away. Destruction. Gets 2 covered.
We already went through the destruction.
Oh, did we? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
So now order is the only thing left. We're doing pretty good, but IDK covered. Seraphon covered. Stormcast covered. What else is there? Oh,
Lumineth.
Lumineth, right. Do we have that covered?
Not really.
Not really, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lumineth, and then... Although I feel like people don't really care about seeing Lumineth as much. Correct me if I'm wrong, by the way. Like, I'm not saying this is a statement of fact. But, like, it feels like Lumineth are popular and you see them on like a lot of battle report channels. So maybe people don't really, it's not something that I've ever like noticed that people are requesting a lot. Again, I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments or in the chat. But that's not something, and actually I haven't gotten a lot of requests for daughters. I'm not saying let's not do it. I'm not saying they're not popular, but you know, maybe it's just because Dale used to be on the channel quite a bit. And so it just could be that, but that's something to think about too. Fire Slayers, we got Alex, but he usually likes to play like other stuff. You know what I mean? He's a big Iron Jaws fan, that guy.
Yeah, that's definitely his mainstay army for sure.
But he's also lives quite far, so it's hard to get him on. So I actually think like, and okay, let me know what you guys think in the chat here. I think maybe like if we're talking like armies. Oh, cities. That's another good one. Yeah, good call, Jean-Paul. I didn't mean to run that. I think Nurgle is a popular army that wouldn't be too hard to paint. I think like that might be the best one to get first. And then I had another. What was the other one that I was thinking would be good? Oh, man. We just talked about it.
OBR?
No, OBR because we got Matthias for that. I think it was an order army.
People in the chat are going nuts. I feel like just watching it forget stuff immediately. Cities.
Right before that.
Daughters.
I was thinking is a lot harder because it tends to be a lot more models to paint. It's a lot of skin.
Yeah.
Too. Cities is definitely one of them, but there was something else that was ordered. Sylvaneth, yeah. I mean, we do have Andy.
I'm just reading them off.
Lumineth is not one that I was thinking would be good or easy. Fire Slayers, it's a lot of skin, isn't it? Yo, thank you, Kenrick. I am ecstatic about these dice, to be honest. By the way, is the picture changing? It's supposed to be auto changing on its own. I don't know. I haven't been paying attention because it's on a small little screen over there, next to the chat. Oh man, what other order armies are there?
Just gonna start listing them off.
Thank you.
Warhammer.com.
Nice.
My favorite website. All right.
Nice. Not me. Just kidding. Love it. Love you, Warhammer. It's been the same? Okay.
KO? Maybe? That's the only one we haven't really mentioned yet. Because the order is just cities, Daughters of Cain.
Oh, right.
Fire Slayers, Ideneth, Caradron Overlords, Lumineth, Seraphon, Stormcast, and Sylvaneth.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean...
So Nurgle is definitely top of the list, I feel like, for the next army we would want to try and get for the channel.
I think we can crank them out real quick.
Yeah, they're like begging to be airbrushed. I think.
Airbrushed, and like they take washes and dry brushing like a freaking dream. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then we're almost completely covered on death. Destruction, the same. So I think just like fleshing out, maybe like, I guess if we're getting Nurgle, that'd be like a Chaos Army in addition. Slaves is going to get up to snuff a little bit. So like trying to pick another Order Army, I guess, would be.
It is the biggest faction in terms of like variety of armies. Chris said KO. Doesn't Kenrick have some KO?
He's got some KO. Yeah.
Okay.
He's been working on them.
Andy has some KO too. One of the many Andys that I know. Yeah, maybe. Okay, so Maggotkin. I feel like Sylvaneth we could also, like, it's an army that you can kind of crank out pretty quick.
Yeah. Do inflation for wrong. $5 now.
$5, Kenrick. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kenrick Carson is cruel, but he's fair.
I think from like the perspective of interesting armies to put on the channel, I would love to have a cities army for the channel. But the issue with cities is that it's like we don't have any, essentially. Like I've got just the army box,
right,
and that's it, and it's completely unbuilt. And it's like built to be eclectic. So you have to have like a whole bunch of different things to like make it make sense. It's like you need a little bit of dark elves and a little bit of dwarves and a little bit of humans, and it's like not easy to paint whatsoever.
Absolutely. By the way, before we lose them, thanks, Braden, so much. Your generosity means the world. You're insanely awesome. Hope you have a great sleep, and we'll talk to you again soon. The other problem with cities too is like there's a lot of detail, and it's not like all one thing. It's like the opposite of like an easy army to paint. It's a very difficult army to paint. There's a lot of textures. There's metal, there's wood, there's skin, there's cloth. There's literally everything like on every model. It's kind of, obviously it's a beautiful army. The new models frankly look amazing, but I think it's, yeah. Oh, that was it. I finally remembered. I was like, it's definitely an order army. That was what was throwing me off. We need, I think, like the second army, arguably, that would be good on the channel is Iron Jaws. They're popular. They're not that hard to paint. You know what I mean? And like, we have Alex, but he's so far away. That's what I was going to say earlier, is he's so far away, and he's like the only other person I think capable of coming on the channel that has Iron Jaws and whatever. So and I think they're fun too, and I think people like them. So I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about a second Skaven army for when those duplicitous Skaven betray your Skaven? Well, luckily, I actually already have 2 Skaven armies. If we're talking in points, I have like, oh man, I'm well over 20,000 points at this point. So like, I've got like 10 if we're talking points, and that doesn't even include the stuff that's coming out in a couple of weeks. So pretty soon, I'm going to have like, I don't know how many armies. Of just Skaven. So, but I still think another one is a good idea. Yeah, I'm going to take that. Yeah, I'm going to take it.
What's another 5,000 points?
It's nothing. All for the Great Horned Rat. Yeah.
Do it for him. or them.
Maybe Skaven aren't that popular. It's just me buying up all the Skaven that exist in the world. I'm okay with that.
What about the 13th Skaven army? He asks.
Actually, that's true. So because I have 25 armies and 26 is a multiple of 13, naturally I need to get one more Skaven army.
Yeah.
Thank
Exactly.
you. Yeah.
Also, Sigmar Scotty, good to have you in the chat. Thanks for hanging out. Hope
Thanks
you have a
for
good
joining
night.
us. Oh my God. Ugh. Oh, at least it was to Chris.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true.
Keith, thank you so much. That's really kind of you. I don't know if you saw the shenanigans earlier. We were kind of hard on Ludivicus for a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't seen him chat in a little while. I think we
I hope we didn't scare him off.
bullied him out of the chat.
With our jokes. Yeah, hopefully. Jeez. I hope you're still here. I mean, he's still here. 31 ducks tonight. Something has to be wrong. But honestly, like, I forget who it was that pointed out. Actually, it might have been Chris. That was like, a bunch of people are here. Oh wow, it's actually gave it to an active chatter. Yeah, that was what was confusing. Okay, I'll be right back. I am dying for water. I'll be right back.
Just watching me have water the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know exactly how. I feel like there's got to be a recency bias for the membership gift subs or something, because most of the time it is someone who's either in chat or was recently in chat or something like that. It's not always just because if it was just a random person every time, we probably would have no idea who it was. Like 90% of the time, a sub was gifted.
Yeah, it's true.
But I guess it's kind of a good thing where, like, if it is someone who recently watched or like watched at some point and isn't currently, it gets them looking at the channel at least. So that's another reason for us to thank you for buying gift subs.
I think it's more hype though if it gives it to someone who's active. Like on Twitch, it always does. It virtually always gives it to someone who is not necessarily active, but someone who is currently in the chat. One day it'll be my time. One day I'll get I guess part of the problem too is like you can't get a gift membership if you're already a member, and I tend to watch more stuff that I'm a member of, right? Yeah, Ludivicus is batting more than 1,000. It's pretty wild. Or the opposite of that, I guess.
In a quick Google search, according to someone on Reddit, which must be true,
Yeah.
it prefers people that are active in the chat, but it doesn't always target them, especially if there's like more than are actually in the chat. Like when Braden gifted 20, it was just...
I mean, that made sense, I guess. It really should have. One day, like, how amazing will it feel at some point if Ludivicus... Again, I'm not saying I believe Ludivicus necessarily, but I'm no longer calling him a liar or that he is in bed with Sigmar.
I feel like whoever gets Ludivicus with a gift sub needs to like win something.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. I love this. What do they win? I got it. Carson will paint your army for you.
Perfect.
Your entire
Perfect.
army.
Yeah.
Especially if it's ogre gluttons.
No, please. Please no.
You will abide by my promises just like Kenrick abides by yours.
You're right. That's my bet. I'm gonna quit all forms of work just to do that. And it'll take enough subs that you'll be able to pay me my actual rate.
It so will. At this rate, that's absolutely true. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We never actually settled on a miniature for you to paint me. You just thought I wasn't going to notice, huh?
No, of course not.
Exactly. Oh, that camera's still on. Damn it. Okay. Well, you just faded into the meat dimension. As mysteriously as he arrived, he disappeared. Oh, he's nope. Um, you can have your army in any color as long as it's the same as Glutton skin. That's true. Yep.
That's right.
There's nothing that
It's
he likes
actually
painting more.
I take quite a while to paint the skin. That's like the longest part of painting the Gluttons, to be honest. It's just the
Makes
skin.
sense. Yep. That checks out. Why does my warlock engineer look like a lead filter now? That's because he twisted the head off of your engineer and put on an ogre head and then painted it.
My God, he's gone full meat.
Ludivicus the Unchosen. I missed that earlier. That's godlike. Oh, and Matthew said Twitch has given me a sub when I wasn't in that stream. Okay, I'm starting to see that it's kind of crazy like that. Like it wouldn't have occurred to me that like it's not like I watch streams where there's like that many people in there, so maybe that's why. But yeah, maybe Twitch is just as silly as YouTube after all. Yeah, Braden did 30 tonight, and he didn't get Ludivicus. So we started throwing around some pretty wild accusations. Yeah, with 21 people in here, he gave 30, and none of them hit him. It was crazy. Oh man, it sure was hype though. Especially when he did the 20, I was like, it's got to be, we've got you, Ludivicus. We got you, man. But then we noticed that, yeah, that like almost none of the regular chatters in the chat got one either. I was like, oh, okay, maybe we were a little too harsh on him, but I mean, you guys have to understand like how suspicious that was, right? Anyway.
He probably hacked everybody else's clients and turned theirs off too. I think that's what happened.
That makes way more sense to me as well. Yeah, actually, Keith, we brought that up. I literally brought that up tonight after it happened. I said, just like literally, do you remember when Keith like accidentally gave it to himself? That was hilarious. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty wild. So, what do you guys think? What miniature do you guys think Skaven? Okay, first of all, what army should Carson paint a foot hero for me for? Don't you hate it when good things or when bad things happen to good sentences? That was a bit of a train crash again. Yeah,
it doesn't have to be a foot hero. I think it's just like any one single model, right? Not a centerpiece, please.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah. Well, there you go. I didn't realize. So, like, you'd be originally like the deal. To be honest, Carbson, the deal actually was a foot hero.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, but if you're like, I mean, but like maybe if it was something like Claw Lord, just to name something, right?
Like the one on the Knob East kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I've already painted one of them, but I'm going to have two more now. I have two more now. So, but like...
Why don't put some options in the chat for like things that you don't have painted that you would like to have painted?
Okay. So, I think I have some Seraphon. I think I've got the Astrolith Bearer not painted.
I'd love to paint a Seraphon. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, he's a gorgeous model. You have to be really careful though, because like his banner breaks like for everyone ever. I've got IDK that has a few foot heroes that I haven't painted. I've got a spare Soul Scryer, a spare Soul Render, at least that I can think of, and then what else? Actually, there's a bunch of Crowboy stuff that's not painted, like the Belcha banner and like, yeah, just little things like that. I think I might have a spare Goblin foot hero. Actually, I have at least one Web Spinner Shaman that needs painting. Kritok Foulblade, he can paint if he buys them himself. I'm painting Kritok. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's definitely a line that we're toting between like
Yeah. Between
things that
what I
Robs want to paint yourself.
Yeah. I would love to see Carson's take on it, but I wouldn't want to hamper you with like what, you know what I mean? Like my paint scheme. Like I would kind of want to just see your take on him. Like, what's your favorite color?
I like painting reds. When it comes to like, what's up?
Well, that really lines up with Clan Moore's, like the verminous look that they've got.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Like, yeah, I could see you doing that.
One thing I've been doing, like I painted it on a couple pieces now, where I think I did it on an Iron Jaws piece too, a big boss for the like Secret Santa that we did as a club.
Yeah.
Where I kind of painted the armor red, but it wasn't like metallic red. It was almost as if it was like fiery, like molten red in a way. And I really like painting that stuff. And that's kind of how I paint like all the emblems and sigils on all my Slaves to the Darkness. So I think that's my favorite thing to paint. It's fun, and it always looks really nice. So
I just realized you said it doesn't have to be a hero. Like there's the Warp Blaster. There's a few other things from Skaven Tide or from, you know what I mean? Like you could paint a shark for IDK, something like that. If you're interested, like, yeah.
Yep.
Let us know, or if you're watching this in the far future of the archive video, let us know in the comments. Like, we don't need to figure this out right now. One single clan rat. You be careful with that bear. No. Deal. No. It's got to be at least a foot hero. I reserve the right to veto at any given point.
Yeah, I remember at one point I painted like a bright pink Boosta Blasta for like the orc, like in 40K when they got those like speed wagons or whatever they're called, the speed freaks.
Oh yeah,
and that was a lot of fun too. Just like making this like janky thing. Did I ever send you pictures of that? Maybe I'll try and find them and put them on the Discord.
When I met you, you were playing Speed Freaks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I don't remember when you very first started playing Speed Freaks. Were you playing with only painted models?
No.
Okay, then I
only have one painted.
Oh, okay, then I think I probably saw it unpainted. Yeah, that was like, yeah, I remember just going like, I remember when I met Carson, he was playing 40K and or Speed Freaks with his girl, and I was like, this guy's got it all figured out. Like, this guy's just winning, you know? And then I found out she like physically abuses you. So I was like, well, it's still worth it.
It's okay though. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take that trade any day.
I will too. Yeah. I agree.
Well, too bad.
Paint one single clan rat to be Golden Demon standard just to trigger Rob every time he sees it. I mean, as long as it matches my paint scheme, like, I'm fine with that. I'm working on 20 clan rats right now. Bedtime. Okay, thank you so much for joining us, Chimerical Wolf. It was fun having you. Hope to see you next week. We stream every Tuesday. A Carson take on an Arch Warlock. That's the only model I didn't order, Ledivicus, because I love the Ikit model. It's like the one thing that I think looks kind of... should I get one? Just say, or actually, I guess you could do... What if you did the Galvanier? Because I'm ordering him.
I'm looking it up now.
He's like the guy with like the spike rifle or whatever.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds cool.
Cool. Okay.
It's done. Locked in.
Locked in. We got there. Thanks for that suggestion, though, Ledivicus, because that kind of, helped me narrow it down. Yeah. And if I don't like it, I'll just paint over it.
There you go.
I'm just kidding. As long as it matches my paint scheme, it's all good, baby.
Yeah, give me a general color palette to match, and I'll do that. And also, what you're basing for them? Is it anything fancy, or is it just...
No, I actually thought about making it, but the thing is like, so, like, I need to make a video because ever since I had like literally like you can go look it up. I think the very first video I ever did with IDK, and now you can't really see them as well anymore. Like you can't see my paint schemes in the new format. Maybe eventually you'll start seeing them again, but like ever since I had my IDK, people were like, "Oh, I love that. Can you show us how you did it?" And so I've been meaning to make that video for ages now. But my Skaven basing scheme I really like, but it's very simple. It's
Cool.
It's arguably too simple. But
Is it something that you do after painting, like your basing?
lately, what I've been doing, and I've kind of upped my game a little bit. This isn't done, but I've added some stone steps or whatever rocks like that are from like a township or something, and then I use the basing paste. Let me see if I can find one that you can see it a bit better. I think you can kind of see this one a bit better. Oh dang. It's getting lost in the warp. I'm sorry, guys. But what I've been doing is I've been adding tea leaves, this particular kind of jasmine tea, into the basing paste, and then it looks like little sticks and stuff like that have fallen down. I really like it. So then that's kind of what I've been doing. But I think he's going to have like a little bit of a tactical rock or something he's standing on. I seem to remember his leg is up a little bit. One leg is up. Kind of like the Bombardier where he's rocking out with his gun out. From Mordheim? I must have missed something. Stream every Tuesday unless you are an upside down world, which means it's Wednesday. That's true. If you're in Japan, upside down world, what's it called? Mordor, or one of those other countries that, yeah. Ooh. Sorry, Kenrick just messaged me, or did you see that? Oh baby, I think it's a great Kenrick army. We might have a solution for that. I think it's gonna be great. Okay. Oh really? Okay. We've got it settled. Oh, that's gonna be great. Okay. Sorry. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, the Galvanier. Does he? I could always pull it up myself, I suppose. Right. Warhammer.com. Oh, you guys can't see this. Galvanier. Yeah, he's got like one tactical rock. Actually, I think he'd be kind of easier to do than most of the other ones. Or it's like a tactical ball of dirt.
Yeah, it looks kind of weird actually.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that. But to be honest, like in the there's like a clan rat like standing on a Stormcast head in the new clan rats, and I'm just like, that's not evergreen. A and B, like, I don't know. I don't like it. Like if you're not fighting Stormcast, then it's just like it feels weird. So I just basing pasted over it, you know.
Yeah. One thing I could do is I could cut off that whatever that lump is that he's standing on and replace it with like a skull or something that's just been like scorched by whatever the gun he has in his hand is.
That's a cool idea, especially if it's like a bigger, like a little bit bigger skull where you can get a little more funky with the scorch marks.
Yeah,
that sounds awesome.
Even green stuff some like flesh around the skull to make it look like it just like shot its face off.
Oh, that sounds awesome. That's a great idea. Hell yeah, I'm looking. I don't know about you guys. I'm looking forward to this. I'm so sorry.
I reminder of that. I forgot about that. Oh,
I'm so sorry, Keith. Yeah, I forgot that I have the desktop background or everything's on there. I'm so sorry. I turned it off. I shut off Discord. I normally do, but I don't always remember because you know, like when you start up your computer. Like Discord's just like, I'm here now, everyone. Look at me. And it doesn't matter like what you were doing. You could be like in the middle of a sentence typing. It just takes over your computer. Oh. Don't they have ogre skulls in the skulls pack?
They have orc skulls, but I don't know about ogre skulls.
Yeah, maybe not. It's got
the thing is, I just don't have enough ogre bits. Gotta look for my partner.
I'll buy an ogre skull. Yeah, yeah, for real. Well, we need a skull though. We need like a big, or I guess just a human skull. So just like, we just basically need to 3D print a human skull. That's what I'm hearing, and just say that it's an ogre skull.
What?
Because, like, anyway.
All right. All right.
I lost the plot there. Make the skeleton on it like the disintegrated skeleton remains from Mars attacks. I'm trying to remember that. It's been so long since I've seen that movie. Like when they shoot them and then you like see the skull. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I think Ludivicus has it though. An ogre head. How's the new computer? It's great, isn't it? It's much faster
awesome.
than ours. Yeah. Which is just like anytime you're sorry. You like start jerking around. Damn, Meat Dimension doesn't even ask permission.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say?
It's this new stream PC is
right.
really awesome. And you'll be able to see it this Thursday because we're going to be doing the Get Civil War live stream, which is going to be a lot of fun. New setup, some new other things to be revealed, which will be fun.
Right.
My Carson points rating has decreased by 30 points this day. Sorry, Carson. I didn't know that was a ranking.
Oof.
How do I get more Carson points?
Yeah.
Please tell me.
And like, is that a lot? Like, it feels like a lot. Like, what's the perfect amount of points? Like, is 100 points like the maximum?
Is there a cap? Is it like capitalism?
Yeah, exactly.
Can we just print more Carson points? Is there a central Carson points bank?
Yeah. Is it based off the gold standard? Like,
what's the interest rate for Carson points if you're giving out Carson point loans?
Yeah. And what's the conversion rate between Rob Warpstone snuff and Carson points?
Yeah, exactly. And Kenrick yen, you can't forget about that.
Oh, right. The yen took a real nosedive, last year, but it's on the rise. Yeah,
doing all right. Yeah, no Carson point though.
Why is Carson points? I don't know. Inquiring minds, Ludivicus. I meant I had lost.
You said Carson points so much, it just makes me think of like the 8 points, like a place.
Oh, I see. He said, I meant I lost favor due to my suggestion. It was worth it, though.
I see. Oh, so I give out the Carson points.
Apparently, you give out the Carson points.
Wow.
This is a terrible idea. Did you guys see how harsh he was with Kenrick and the cheeseburgers and his drawings? Like, this is not a good idea.
There is a physical version of a Carson point, by the way. It's not just like an idea, and this is what it is.
Oh, okay.
This is 10 Carson points right here.
Oh, okay.
And you can divide it into zooming out. Wow. Carson points to the new Bitcoin. Invest now. That's how we're going to make our money as a channel. Of like pump and dumping our fans.
That's fair. I was thinking that maybe Carson points are like however many calories are in Spam. So like one can is like presumably like 850,000 calories, right?
Per 1/6 of a can of Spam, it is 180 calories.
Jeez.
So that's, I did that math wrong. It's definitely not 32,000. 1 sec.
850?
It's 1,080 calories.
1,080. Wow.
Yeah. Which is quite a lot.
That's a lot.
That's not very big.
That's not. It's definitely still keeping up that reputation for wartime food. Sheesh.
It's dense and it's salty. Like me.
Yeah. Salty. What are you salty over? The yen is at 0. So the only direction is up. Oh, the Kenrick yin? Right. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's fair. I expect good things.
Indeed.
Is a Carson Point just a meat medallion? Oh man.
Yeah.
Is that the next thing we make on the channel? Like meat medallion objective markers? Too
It's
gross.
just like I
I didn't mean real meat.
Like. No, I'm aware.
Rotting meat.
It's just pressing ground beef onto the table.
Yeah.
That's the objective.
Try not to get E. coli.
Medallion is chicken.
Raw chicken. Ooh. Yeah, I think that on that note, now that we've
Probably
given
a
you
good time
all nightmares, yeah, probably a good time to wrap things up. Thank you again to I like that it's upside down. What is going on? It's like interpretive dance. Thank you to everyone for joining us. Thank you to everyone for not playing Space Marine 2 for the 2.5 hours that we were streaming. What? I didn't know what it was going to be. And then it was, what's going to be this time? And it's gone. He knows magic. He knows magic. Meat hammer, spam. This kid does it all. Disappears into the meat dimension and everything. Thank you to everyone for joining us so much. Thank you. Huge thank you to Brayden for all the amazing gift subs, and to Keith for the gift subs, and everyone for hanging out. And thank you to all those amazing people that were kind enough to buy the new Skaven dice. I'm sure they will go well with your Warpstone induced magical games. Yeah. Anything to add before we head on out, Mr. Carbson?
Just this.
Oh, he's gone. Good time to edit. Thanks, everyone. Bye.